What is up, Vivers? We are back out here. Not Saturday today. It is Sunday. We are here for the epic 7-week conclusion of ViveEUCamp. And today is the finals tournament. I am joined by the legend Samiri on the cast, as well as Courageous, who is sort of the man behind the scenes that has put this entire thing together. How are you doing, Courageous?
I'm doing super good today. I am very excited to see all these teams compete against each other that I've been looking at over the last 7 weeks. And how are you doing, Zik?
I'm doing excellent. I want to hear from Samiri as well. Yeah, 3 days in a row, bro, of tournaments that you're out here casting. How are you feeling for today?
Non-stop action, just had a long enough rest, to kind of restock up on the adrenaline, and I'm ready to let it all out for these next couple of games we're about to witness.
Let's go. Okay, so Courageous, like for someone who's coming in that hasn't been a part of this, can you just quickly describe sort of the format of the event? Who was the event for? How long has it ran? And how has that led up to this moment?
Yeah, so let's start with everything started 7 weeks ago. And 7 weeks ago, I had this idea where I get new players that have not played competitive SUPERVIVE before. I get them into the game, and the first thing I did with all these players, I think about 100 people signed up, and eventually we were left with 17 teams. But at the start, it was really just 3 weeks of getting all these players just to play with each other. So I made every weekend, I made 2 scrim days, Saturday, Sunday. I made them teams for them. So they gave me a list of their hunters that they're playing and their language of preference, etc. And I tried to match them with the best possible team. And then they would play 3 games with that team. And then I switched it up again and matched them with another team, etc., etc. I did this for 3 weeks long. And after those 3 weeks, these players, they checked, okay, who did I enjoy playing with most? What champs do these players play? And do they play good around my champs, etc., etc.? They all made teams together, and then 3 weeks after, they got assigned coaches. So we had a bunch of tier 1 players that you also see in the Saturday Night SUPERVIVE tier 1. For example, the winners of yesterday, Bao, they're also one of the coaches. And
let's go. That's super cool.
Exactly. And these coaches got assigned to these teams to help them throughout these 3 weeks to get better. And now is the last week. Yesterday, we ran qualifiers with 17 teams, and we are left with the 12 top teams from the camp.
Let's go. All right. And what are these players playing for today? I know you actually have some money on the line yourself. So this, tournament sponsored by the man himself who has organized the whole thing. So huge shout out to you, Courageous. Like I am very grateful for what you've done. I think the whole community can echo that. So not only do we have a little bit of Theorycraft coins that they have added to the prize pool, but what's the sort of cash prize that we're looking at?
Yeah, so before I talk about the cash prize, I also want to mention Mr. Ice-T. Very cool person. He decided to double my initial prize pool. So huge shout out to him.
Wow.
Because of him, we have a prize pool of 400 euros going all to the top players. So it's 100 euro per player and 100 euro to the coach. Because obviously the coach also helped them to get there.
Very cool. Let's go. And then we also have it's I believe 2nd through 4th getting paid out with like Theorycraft coins as well, kind of tiering down from 2nd.
Yeah, so we have the 2nd through 4th getting Theorycraft coins as well. I'm not sure at this moment how much we have. I think it's the second. I think what did we decide on, Zik? I think it was 2.5k per person for 2nd place, and then it tears down from there.
Yeah, we'll post the details in the Discord at the end. But yeah, it's some decent amount of coins to scoop some skins. Either way, there's a good chunk to play for today. So super exciting. So thank you so much, Courageous, for kind of letting us get our bearings here. Is there anything you want to say before we dive into things and fire off the lobby?
I just want to say that I had a lot of fun doing this, and I met a lot of wonderful people that are now playing in Saturday Night SUPERVIVE. And obviously, I want to thank you, Zik, and Samiri for helping me throughout these 7 weeks and always having my back.
No worries, no worries. All good.
Yeah, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure. I know Samiri has had the opportunity to cover a bit more than I have, but the few events I have gotten to cover so far is super fun to watch. I love, because I got to cover it yesterday. I really love watching like new players getting into competitive, and especially once they start getting like their bearings, getting some coaching, getting comfortable on, you know, the hunters that they've kind of picked. Like it's just like it's such fun SUPERVIVE to watch. And like the tier 2 event yesterday for NA, part of SNS. It's just like, I don't know. It's some of my favorite SUPERVIVE because it's a little more fast and loose, a little more chaos, but in like the best way.
Great
All right.
stuff.
Well, yeah, after that, Samiri, I think we are about to dive into game 1. So fill me in, like, as far as the teams we're looking at here, who are sort of like the top dogs that we've sort of like seen over the last 7 weeks, like rise to the top?
Yeah, we've got I got a couple of teams I think in mind that are, you know, really looking good. Like especially in the last scrims that I've watched, at least MTV have like been performing really well. They've had a couple of different kind of not roster swaps, but character swaps, especially since the kind of Tetra nerfs. Breves has swapped to Oath since then, and I feel like I've seen like a marked improvement overall in their kind of capacity to just absolutely demolish teams and just get those placement points. So I'm expecting to see something good from those guys. At the same time, we've got Apex, of course. You know, these guys have probably been like the reigning stars of ViveEUCamp, and I expect to see a good performance from the very least with those guys. They got like a really good comp as well, including Zeph sometimes, Ghost as well. There's a lot of Ghost picks as well. Do you notice that in tier 2 in NA as well?
Yeah, actually, like not as much as I used to see, but yeah, there's like a decent bit. I'm a big Ghost enjoyer myself. I have been for a long time, and I always enjoy like watching the Ghost stuff. I think he's one of these show where he has like it's like simple on the surface, but it has a lot of depth in how you can play it. Like there's a lot of nuance to it, and I think especially for new players that are like comfortable playing like a ranged carry role, like from other games, I think he's like the perfect hunter to invest time on, learn the game on. Right into the action here, Samiri, into Gridlock. I think this is our hot drop. Golds on the line.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's being contested. Typically, it's only like Apex who ever, you know, have access to armors straight off the bat. But, you know, this time JP2 seem to be like the winners in this scenario, taking the armors. But, you know, of course, with Academy being just above it, there's still a nice little boon to be grabbed there with that kind of extra XP. Aside from that, I think the match has been relatively calm. We did see a bit of interaction as well right at the start, but you know, nothing really came from it. Most teams are just trying to get those levels whenever possible. We do see MTV also slowly wandering over to GG, kind of on the high ground temporarily, trying to get that last mob if possible. But the Saros, that poke, is always going to be infinitely coming out until that mana runs out. But yeah, I think for now, I think these teams are going to just continue dancing whenever possible. We're looking at Breeds as well with Diadem, so hopefully they can get
nice little pickup.
Yeah, so go. Day 2's in when possible.
You mentioned no one often contesting Apex. Like the fact that J2P or JP2 drops on him, wins the Gridlock battle, gonna walk out of there with triple golds. Like Gridlock, ooh, this greed Saros is just destroying as they try to take this fire. It's gonna force MTV to back off. So despite the level disadvantage, GGG holds ground. Yeah,
it's really, really nice to see, especially in corridors. Like I really like that that they can just get that poking continuously. It's always like Saros's like best kind of position to maneuver in those kind of narrow lines. You know, it's always a free shot. And then once he gets his ultimate, you know, he can just bend the map to his will.
Real. I like it. He has such a like interesting kit in the fact that like you could be doing stuff off of your screen, like the range on it. It's just so disgusting if you ult like a big wall with that Eclipse portal. But and we've seen like a very real rise of Saros in competitive over the last Samiri, like month.
Oh, 100%. It's just it started off a little bit, you know, and then once the floodgates opened, yeah, they never stopped, and it's bled over into tier 2, as you can obviously see, which is you know, kind of cool to see. At the same time, Milk Honey actually has Squid and Battlegun, which is actually really, really crazy. High roll picks probably from Vaults or Guardians. That's a really big boon potentially, of course, in terms of economy and for having a potential early level 6 fight. As we do see a couple of LMBs being exchanged. Milkoni goes into the hook, successfully is going to get it, but I don't think he's going to have any more value to acquire there. We do see a kind of third party, well, not even a third party, just Zephs coming down from the south side, getting a little bit more LMB pokes, but I think there's not going to be any, decisive losers or winners in this scenario. Just people are a bit bruised, but they're all able to heal up. And over looking at GG, we're seeing another massive fight erupting here, Zik. Uh-oh.
Ooh, a big chip damage coming out from Greed again, breaking those health bars. Now just, sorry, I just don't want to mess this up. Bubacek, is that right?
I just call him Bubs.
Bubs, all right. Bubs able to make his way out on the bunny, reconnect with team there, save that gold armor. And meanwhile, the fighting continuing on the tracks. Cam find a grab, put Reaper into the Wisp form, now into the box. That kill confirmed.
Yeah, exactly. So we are, hopefully approaching day 2 soon, and in that scenario, hopefully Hat can get those relic purchases in. As we spoke about before, just Milkoni having that high roll. We really ideally want the whole team to be having double relic up before looking for a fight. And Apex actually decided to walk down against GP2. They've been chilling in this kind of right hand side of the biome forever. It feels like Velati getting caught out at the last second. Arcane Railgun doesn't get the connection, unfortunately. So the poker race is going to be continuing between JP2 and Apex. It looks like it's potentially going to be a 3v2 unless Velati can get behind them in time as they keep sending in those LMBs. The pad's already dropped. Kuleg's jumping to the left-hand side. Looks like one person's about to get rooted. A double-man root at the last second. And Apex seem to be dancing around quite headlessly at the moment, not decisively hitting any specific target. And JP2 managed to get out at the last second.
And they just got level 7s online with that last creep camp on the day tournament. So it's ults versus no ults. Big connection, spikes, Kuleg, can Rhapsody finish this off? Super low, might get the creep damage to it, wings forward, trying to get that last shot on the myth, but Kuleg somehow alive. Beautiful second shift. Can Rhapsody find this last shot, or does Kuleg live another day?
Oh, I'm not too sure about this one. I think they're going to be mirroring each other forever. I mean,
he's on fire, bro.
Yeah, he's on fire.
It's not looking good.
No. Oh, no. And this is when you need someone like 2NA, man, to just put that fire out. It's not going to be enough, unfortunately. And, looking elsewhere on the map, it feels like a lot of other teams are relatively close to each other as well. So, there's Guardian up for grabs. Lagra as well, getting DDK back up as a full 3-man. Fish are just, looking around, seeing if they can get free picking on anyone. They're still level 6 as well, things considered. Definitely below the average.
Let's go. I like this Sun team. Suncheese is a new player that I casted with Magical. I think the first time I casted ViveEUCamp, and it was like a really cool interaction with Suncheese. So here on the pink team, pushing forward for Team Sun, maybe their namesake here, getting a little reset as they try to make their way into circle.
100%. And Kazuma is actually known for being a pretty decent KP player as well, so it's surprising he's actually shifted off that one. At the same time, we're looking at kind of Fish as well. Lepiggy, as I was saying to before, Lepiggy's on the Void. We have like 2 Void players in tier 2 as well, which is really
Let's
nice
go.
To see. It feels like we always reach that threshold. Even in that tier 1, I don't know if it's the same in NA. Like there's always like 2 Void players, never anything more, never anything less. We reach the threshold, and that's it,
bro. It's just like the Sith. A master and an apprentice. No more, no less. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, it's actually so weirdly true. As MTV have like a kind of awkward angle, a good angle for them. Abyssal Breaker out for Breeze, really splitting this fight, forcing 2 back into Storm as they isolate Kaiser on the right, able to find that kill for Trep. So now Black Lamb, one of our 2 Sith Voids, holding the high ground here as Kingpin tries to kite it out to the south.
Yeah, it's looking very, very problematic for Black Lamb. Oh, but the Porter might have saved him potentially. If he's got another TP, maybe he can get onto the mountain at the last second. I think he's done it, but they're still surrounding him at this point. Oh, and he pops this thing in RT, gets a 2-man with 1 HP. I don't think it's going to last much longer. If he had the chance to get a reset, he might have had a chance, but not enough.
Bro, before TTK changes, he gets that reset, and he's cooking right there for sure. Cam under huge pressure too, as Hat make a really nice push. Health bars just destroy, 2 down. Black Lamb, last member left here, so the Void hero does make it out for now, but the fighting continues to the north. 4 squads posturing now.
Oh, this is looking potentially dangerous here. As Reap actually makes his way to the right side, just temporarily split from the team. But, maybe this kind of dissection actually works in their favor, actually. We do see kind of ult on the north side at the last second by Lagra. And it looks like DD looking for a super wide rotation on the north side, but Kazuma does find him at the last second on that E-plat. There goes the chilling Venati as well when he's had to jump down to the south side temporarily, trying to make sure that Wisp doesn't get rezzed. On the left-hand side, we do see kind of MTV as well, dancing over the Guardian as well as possible. Panorama also getting a couple of LMBs. The Battlegun's also been used. Max 10 speed achieved by Suncheese. We've broken the speed limit. Wow.
I heard it. The sound barrier just like cracked right there. Just zooming out of there. Really nice kind of schmooze deck. Meanwhile, this fight on the right, Hat gets wiped after the Hat aggression really getting punished there in this fight to left. Same exact time, GGG gets wiped on the other side of the map. So 2 squads gone after that chaos, Mary.
Yep, and we're looking on the south side, just Black Lamb. He's found the Sky Shark, and I don't know if there's if there is a broken res, but it's between a couple of teams. We are looking, I think, on the Songbo as well, and 1 soul to be able to be grabbed up in not too long. As Viper sends it with the second wind, he's peppered Kuleg. He's got the green debuff, but I don't think they can really get any more of a chase. It seems at the last second. Trep has taken down Lamama. LPN are also outed. Less and less teams are surviving, you know, as the circle continues to close.
Yeah, so like 3 squads in like sub 1 minute eliminated here. As there's not enough space for all of us, and a lot of like, you know, playing for these big biome plays. Several teams in gridlock now. J2 or JP2 fire down, just looking to get that vision. Boo pushing forward, very likely going to steal that away from them there. JP2 knowing they only have 2 members, they want to hold on to that gold armor for Bubs as well.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that they can get some like magical plays in with like an air blast, but I don't think. Well, actually, Bubs does have the air blast, so there might be some spicy plays coming up in the future. We do see Boo as well creating that temporary bowling alley, but I don't think they can really capitalize on anything as they look up to the north side against DDK. They're just going themselves up to the north side. They're actually still under-leveled in this scenario because of the fights they've kind of had previously. Just looking at the map overall, looks like Black Lamb is still, you know, he's actually picked up a crown amidst the chaos.
Let's go,
yeah, 1 minute
dude.
5. Hopefully he can get that.
He's just riding his heart out.
For real.
And this is like, I mean, Skyshark is so good for the crown angle if you're just looking to play time. It has some space out there, so hopefully going to be able to pop that for the squad. Boo now getting looked at by Apex. They do have this gold armor, definitely level tempo here, Smeary. It's a 4-level difference. They find the spike, continuing to push forward. The Boo trying to, I think, predict that nade going a little wide. Second wind out, just trying to stay alive, but DDK is here from the north. Meanwhile, Black Lamb riding by, see if he can maybe snipe this kill. Proc the crown. Can he run down Romance here on the Zeph? Overheated. Black Lamb, 28 seconds left on crown.
Dude, and of course, they have to call it Sky Shock, man. They know what they're doing, man, when it comes to things like this. Like typical kind of circling action. We do see a nice little air blast at the last second. I think the Sky Shock's run out of fuel. Okay, Rogan seals the deal, though. MTV steal it. 10 seconds left. I'm wondering if he can escape in this scenario. He's getting absolutely pummeled. He's about to be in combustion state. Dez dashes to the left-hand side. A couple of hammers are sent out, plus there's Saros R&B. Oh, no. Cam out to be just left with 6 teams left, sick.
That's wild, bro. The greed just like punished so hard right there. He like wants that kill so bad. Instead of waiting out the time, you gotta respect it. But unfortunately, kill gets sniped away, runs into a full squad of 3, eats an abyssal breaker to the face, and then from there does their very best to make it out. But it's a tough ask. So ends up going down. Yeah, pretty quickly here, Samiri. 6 teams as Apex posture over this Songbo.
Yeah, and surprisingly, it's not being contested. They've already picked up 7 kills as well. They've still got the armor. I'm assuming they're really, really healthy on Econ as well, so they're going to be able to last a long, long while in these fights. Of course, with having Vipero, you know, providing those heals in the background. Where you see the Piggy hiding behind the gates, maybe trying to, you know, do something opportunistically here. He's got the TP potentially. You know, he can do this LMBs through the wall as well. It's about to be destroyed at the last second as Rhapsody tries to get a bit of vision. We do see a bit of skirting down the south side as well, and MTV looking to force out Sun in this scenario. Of course, Suncheese with that shift level 4 is able to survive for prolonged periods of time in the Abyss, but we do see an aggressive invite breeze, plus a couple of LMBs. Trapper there with the reinforcements, already taking out Suncheese, and Sun are now just 2 members.
Yeah, I saw the angle for Suncheese there, looking for the double bungee to tag 2 together into some crowd control to set something up, but so much damage coming out from the Ghost, I think, with the days on, is going to find that kill. They're going to put Suncheese into a box. Meanwhile, to the south, JP2, dude, I struggle. I keep mixing up. I'm like dyslexic on this name. JP2 finds the nade into the wall. Big damage pressure traded back for Apex, though. Really nice healing to support this Ghost. I mean, Ghost Smith, if you're hitting your shots, Samir, it's disgusting ranged damage.
Yeah, it puts out so much damage, and of course, if you just have someone like Zeph, you can just, you know, carry on. It's almost like you've made your own kind of makeshift tank, you know, because if you get this triple heals on without an anti-heal, you're going to survive so much damage while you just keep sending in your own amount of damage in. As Velati is found dead at the last second, it looks like a DDK in this scenario, going with a chilling for 90, not getting too much buy, unfortunately. They bought themselves a little bit of space, though, to kind of confirm the Wisp kill. JP2 were desperately trying to look for the Wisp res, but they couldn't get it. And now JP2 again back as a 2-man, looking for another res opportunity. Things are looking a little bit dire, but maybe they've got enough for a crown.
Yeah, and Apex, you mentioned them kind of being one of the sharks in the lobby. Double exotic here. The Songbow on Ghost is just probably the greatest. Lizardo just doesn't care, just gliding forward through the rain, just wants it so bad, knows he can destroy these health bars, but answered back by DDK. Rhapsody is down. Big trades here. Vipero on the Ghost, though, not backing, or on the Zeph, not backing down, holding that ground as Lizardo continuing to try to exert damage from the backline. Meanwhile, DDK run right into the arms of Bubs. He's 1v3 for JP2, finds the crown proc. Insane!
Dude, that 1v3 was absolutely monumental for those guys, man. I know it's only game one, but that was absolute cinema. Straight off the bat, we're looking at Reaper already found down as well. Bubs is just continuing on with this kind of pursuit. Actually completely taking out DDK. I mean, now we're just left with 5 teams, dude. What is going on?
JP2 just popped the heck off. What the world? Now Apex under pressure again. Fish find it. Vipero is down. No more heals. That's 2, but they trade back. Can they find this res onto the Zeph? Would be huge. So they get the heals back. Myth lives with 1, able to heal. Nade into the storm from Lizardo. Actually massive. Now Fish, the ones on the back foot because Drive is down and giving Apex the space to play around this Amorius.
And I like that instant dash towards the Bond to just kind of steal it, because if they want to take Amorius or have kind of a bit more territorial control, they're going to, guarantee it, of course, with having that extra vision that the Bond can provide. They got it to 80% already, as MTV actually go quite aggressively over Lepiggy already there on the top right side. The Bond, the nuke has already been dropped on the Bond as well, so Apex have to now jump ship at the last second. They may be looking to apply a bit of pressure, in fact, onto MTV. They actually jump back to their own respective island. Kazumo chilling on that right one. I think they're going for a super late rotation. The only people who have kind of gone early is JP2 in this scenario.
Yeah, and that fight was looking so good for Fish, but after all of the sort of chaos, it's just Lepiggy left trying to find just a little bit of space over Abyss with the Void, playing the Wind Ring angle, shifting over the rocks there, and I think maybe has the angle to just live for a moment, but Samira, you got to do something eventually. There's no crown in play, and what are you even playing for here? There's a squad on every piece of land.
Yeah, this is looking really, really difficult. He's going to have to make that kind of, trial down the south side if possible. We are seeing a little cook drop as well by Apex to try and get the extra couple of goodies. Vipera taking a little bit of that radiation damage. We are seeing a little bit of a portal play coming out from the Saros on the north side. And Arcane Railguns, of course, being exchanged whenever possible. Lepiggy actually gets a kill onto Kazumo. So Sutter also outed. 4 teams left. He actually kind of found a 1v1 somehow and really, really capitalized on it. We are looking at a kind of wide rotation.
Oh, it looks like he killed a crown because look, Fish is back.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy stuff. I was just wondering it. We're seeing 3 players now back on the pink ones. I was like, wow, they got it off. That
dude, huge play from Lepiggy. Yeah, I didn't even see there was another player with the crown in play. Bubs is just going crazy on the Aluna. This is exactly what happened last time. So much kind of crowd control from that shield pop and forcing the fight apart. Now we see 2 members for Fish split to the south. They have 1 isolated north, but they are able to reconnect. Lepiggy, nice shift. The Bubs just so aggro though. I love the Battle Bunny playstyle, just shifting forward, completely unafraid, fishing for that route. It's putting Fish completely in the water in the other direction. Nice Mega Avalanche though, freezing things up a little bit. Can they trade back? Oh my God, Bubs lives with 1, finds a huge air blast into Storm. What is this fight, Samir?
Dude, it's just Lepiggy left at the last second. Somehow Bubs is getting extreme value from the kind of hammer dunks down. It's really utilizing the kind of like physics and momentum that this game obviously provides, and he's really making value consistently. It's like something we've not really seen from this kind of new item, ever since season 2. I've not really seen it, to be honest, in the competitive scene, but somehow Bubs is getting value from it.
He's just like yeeting in and blasting everyone apart, and then like rooting after the fight is split. I really like the like hyper aggro play style. MTV continuing to aggress on Apex. Big Abyssal Breaker here. Oh, but they shift forward, maybe in a lot of trouble into the napalm. Lizardo is down. It's a massive Eclipse portal from but answered back with the spike. Holy, it was looking so good for MTV, but after that they're down to 2, and JP2, the Battle Bunny Bubs, is here to finish them off.
Oh, look at MTV. They're in such a troublesome position now. The portal's already been dropped. Bubs is trying to get an extra bit of damage in. Already had to pop the air blast as well. MTV are trying to circle down around them if possible. 1 member already found dead. Just 1 member left, if I'm not mistaken. Dowdza trying to fight for his life as long as possible. Nearly getting the reset again onto Kuleg. It's not enough. We're just left with 3 teams now, and it's just so weird as well. I'm just gonna say, seeing Iluna's doing so much splash damage on the south side, like when they pounce down with the hammer, it's just so out of character. We do see that. Oh my God, the crown pop at the last second. Fish back again as a 3-man. How many times are they gonna do it?
Lepiggy just has him on his back, dude. That's insane. Finds another crown 1v1, literal centimeters. Can they finish off Rhapsody now? Because after that, Apex is the last member left. Vipero split to try to finish off the Void, leaving Rhapsody as the last member left on the Myth. So can our top squad continue to live here? But JP2 making a name for themselves, contending for that #1 spot, taking out Apex. Now it's just Fish versus JP2.
And this is going to be one of those kind of situations where you have to check the bush. Please check the bush. There goes the aggressive send-in with the avalanche, with the dash 2. Bubs manages to dash out at the last second, but he's being aggressively chased. Drives can't really chase this one in this scenario, of course. Illuna being the ever evasive bunny that we've seen a million times before. We're seeing a nuke dropped as well to temporarily negate some space from Fish. They jump down to the left side whenever possible, but the Saros is getting that mega damage, and there goes the aggressive dash with the root, getting so many LMB damage in Gressman Bear. Already found dead. Fish now just a 2-man. The Piggy trying as much as possible. The Grade, unfortunately, doesn't get a connection. iDrive has picked up a crown as well, trying to strafe like a god as long as possible. Dashes up to the south side, sorry, up to the north side with the dagger. 1 minute 20 left. The Piggy is probably about to be dead, and it's probably just going to be down to iDrive. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind.
Dude, wow. What a wild final fight, man. That whole sequence, Fish just playing like Lepiggy with these crown plays, going absolutely crazy for the whole back half of that game. I think finding like 3 or 4 miracle plays with 5 squads left, but in the end, they are not able to finish the victory. It's actually JP2 led by Bubs on the Battle Bunny, absolutely destroying Samiri for like the whole back half of that game.
Yeah, dude. It just makes you wonder again, like, you know, how many sort of things can they kind of introduce with like these physics mechanics? Like, let's say you could be like a character that kind of gains weight somehow. You know, I can imagine like Illuna could somehow become really, really big, and then it kind of expands to how big the hammer dunk. You know, like that'd be cool, man.
And like they're like heavier, so it takes more impulse to
exactly. They have like less, they have more resistance or whatever as well.
I like it. All right, I think we are going to be rejoined by Courageous here in the breaks. Courageous, are you there, my friend?
I am here, yes.
Let's go. So after, is that, okay, so first of all, is that what you were expecting? It's such a hype first game of the finals, bro.
It is so hype, yes. Yeah, so I wanted to say a bit about like the teams that it was expected to me, right? Because there are 4 teams that are playing right now that I auto-qualified because they qualified in SNS Tier 1, right?
Gotcha, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think these 4 teams is the ones that you know to be good. These are APX, Metaslave, so MTV, Hatsu Coop, and Fish. These are 4 teams that have also played SNS Tier 1 and have gotten good results there. Now,
gotcha.
The last team that is a big contender is this JP2 team that you've seen just now. Because this JP2 team won qualifiers yesterday. And they did it very good. They won got 2 first places, a 3rd place, and I think a 5th place or something.
Gotcha.
They're a very strong team.
That, yeah, the way like is Bubs known kind of as this hyper aggro Illuna?
Yes, he is, because I figured out recently, so I had a little interview with them, because this JP2 team is actually quite new, because these players, they've been playing, so Velati has been playing since 7 weeks, Bubs has been playing since, I think, 3 or 4 weeks in the ViveEUCamp, I mean, but Bubs has been playing a lot of ranked before, and these players were like switching teams around, and last second they got this team for the finals, right? Because not all the teams are always work out perfectly, and some teams have had a lot of changes in who they're playing with. This is one of those teams who they've played with, like for example, Velati has played with a lot of different teams, and this is what they finally they only got like I think 1 or 2 scrims to actually play together as this final iteration of their team. Which is very interesting to see that they still managed to get this much, this many points and played this well.
Alrighty, let's get into match 2. Thanks for that one, Courageous. let's get it underway.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm an
Not a
idiot.
problem. Not a problem, man. Yeah, it's going to be bullet trains, of course, as well, which is an extra bit of spice. You know, I can hear Mad Magical, you know, shouting in the distance. You know, he wants to jump on the cast if possible. I'm sure.
Dude, he did get in tier 2 SNS yesterday. He did get the double bullet train, the wheel spun for game 6, the bullet train. I've never seen him more excited after a full day of casting.
Oh my god! I'm sure he did some sort of rain dance or some sort of other.
Yeah, he did absolutely. Yep, and we got some nice train kills to follow. So it was great. Hoping for. I mean, it's almost inevitable, Samiri, that it at least finds one. Like with the when bullet trains are in play.
For sure, for sure. Straight off the bat, though, we've got to talk about Apex again. You know, we've seen them, you know, always contending for armors. In this scenario, it looks like MTV decided to contest them. And, you know, I've been mentioning to you before as well, like, Reeves has been one of the kind of people who've picked up Oath kind of relatively late in ViveEUCamp. But, you know, really accelerated his progression, it felt like. I felt like, you know, there's a couple of, you know, star players such as Baruf who made, like, a guide with Courageous on Oath and all the kind of nuances of the character. And maybe Breeves really picked up on all of the kind of juicy tidbits of information and just, you know, shot to stardom.
Well, that guy gives me goosebumps, bro, for real. Like, that's so cool, man. Like, because you know, you think about Baruf, he's got to be the most hours into Oath, maybe World. Like, I don't even. There's a couple players in NA that have held onto the Oath, but I don't think they, you know, especially these days, like play as much as Baruf does still. And it's just like, you know, it's so cool when players of that caliber with that level of experience are able to share that knowledge with new players. They're able to skip, you know, that crazy amount of time trying to learn this stuff themselves, figure it out, and able to just instantly implement it and try to, like, you know, scale as a player. And I just like the workshops Courageous has been doing, the coaching for a tournament series like this, an event like this, to link up new players with coaches downtown. Grab connected for Milk Honey and Hat in the barrel to finish it off. So Gross Lambert from Fish gonna get isolated and taken out. But yeah, to finish that thought, Baruf and Courageous setting that up. Awesome to see. And we did see a couple big Abyssal Breakers out of MTV last game, so definitely showing.
Yeah, I expect to see a lot more of them as well. And, you know, we don't have any bans, of course, in Tier 2, so that's going to allow people to just keep playing, you know, the kind of characters that they'd like to, and, you know, get off any sort of crazy combos, unconventional ones that we typically would never see in Tier 1. As we do see JP2, you know, trying to encroach upon Hat's territory. They're going to be losing the high ground if they, you know, wait too long, which I think they have. Now, if they dash to the right side, maybe go for the Abyssal Hatchling, but I think JP2 just want to run down anything they see. We always, you know, Bob's been basically the front line for JP2.
Yeah, dude, I love it, dude. Stuff. I love this style. And now he has early Essence Reaper with a Painkiller charm off of some Gamba. So looking to find the root, dashes in onto Milk Honey. Super aggro is going to get grounded. Maybe a chance to punish. Little emote coming through from Cathias, but he's actually the one getting isolated here. So his team split to the south. Our Lone Shiv kiting to the north. Ooh, almost the fadeaway laser connecting. Somehow living with one.
I don't think that's going to last any longer yet. Buds did find it right at the end, but I think there is a couple of reses still not too far away. On Race for as well, we do see a bit of trouble brewing. It looks like Sun. Oh, a spike at the last second. Hat looking to, you know, continue the aggression here. The hook misses at the last second. Milk Honey on 1 HP, but managed to get away. And we do see a little bit of the Abyss play at the last second. Nice little last second heal. Nice spike grenade as well. Wow. Found dead straight at the last second. Another spike grenade, this time by Ranta. Arkham unfortunately misses. Ranta is going to make his way out of this one. But, you know, Sun, I think, came out on top.
I love these emotes coming out from Hat, bro. It's just like, just adding a little flavor to the combat conversation there. But yeah, really nice fight by Fish to kind of turn things around there. Beautiful nade into the stun. And the nade got answered back by the enemy Ghost, but with that wall in the way, was not able to follow up on the day's damage. So well played from Fish. Fish continuing to impress. Couple really nice sequences we've seen from them over the last 2 games.
Yep, and it looks like they are trying a res while Sun are going for the... sorry, they go for a res and one's going for a box res. They're both going to be back as a 4-3 man, but Sun are probably going to have a small bit of a health advantage here as the res has come out at the last second. The hook unfortunately misses. Milk Honey is going to be rapidly running out of space, but no! He gets the dunk in. Kronos is found dead. A couple more LMBs are popped. Suncheese has to dash back with the ulti at the last second. Can't really do too much more. Milk Honey in a little bit of a troubling situation. Kais with a very, very aggressive Sun with the bonus connection.
God!
Suncheese already found dead, and now we're just looking at Kazmo, last life for Sun.
Bro, the bolo into the napalm, so much damage just came out there from Hat. Kazumo now trying to find a little space, tries to nade early, but it's not quite in time. So in the end, does get ran down by the enemy Ghost. Such a spicy fight, but sometimes when you commit all in like that, one team is going back to the lobby.
100%. I mean, at the same time, just kind of near the train tracks, we are looking at DDK and GG in this scenario. GG do have the level advantage. They're being potentially gate kept for the moment. It looks like the relic purchases have come in now as well, and maybe a rotation down to just keep farming mobs. So in this scenario, DDK is just going to be left without XP. They need to kind of rotate somewhere else ideally then, because otherwise they're going to have a bit of a rough time.
I like to see this play from GG though, because this is very much like, you know, when you're looking at tier 1, some of the best teams, they are so precise about playing around the day turnovers, right? As soon as before it even turns to day 2, they're posturing around a biome where they know creeps are spawning, so they can instantly go 9, be ahead of the XP curve. They're claiming kind of the space that they need to do that. And you love to see a team like GG doing exactly that.
Exactly. And we're going to keep seeing spike grenades coming out, I feel like, between these couple of teams. They're trying to get any sort of like cheese pickings if possible. If they hit it, you might see a crazy summon napalm straight afterwards. Of course, especially in the kind of race biome when there's loads of walls to extract that value from. You know, not every biome is going to provide the same sort of opportunities. So, you know, it's always, that's kind of one of the other parts of this game that you kind of have to come to terms with sometimes. You're not always going to find that, you know, same value extraction based on your character.
Yeah, for sure. And if you've played Ghost for any amount of time, you like see the world in triangles, right? You're just looking for this. You're just looking for this nade angle. Bunu almost getting grabbed there by Milk Honey. Milk Honey just throwing hook after hook, connecting a good chunk of them, but nice dodge there from the enemy KP. Looking for one answer back. Cathius looking for the ground over Abyss, not going to be able to connect the bola. So a little bit of a reset. Ranter want to continue the pressure with the railgun, but it looks like Cam going to peel out.
Yep. And just as you mentioning, you know, to me, it's like whenever I'm playing Ghost, it feels like I'm looking at a heat map. You know, like the walls are always just like red, and that's like, or maybe green, whichever way you want to see it. You know, it's something that you always gotta look for it to get that targeted value extraction. We do see LPN as well wandering down very, very slowly in this kind of a 3-man kind of mini face-off. Most of them are chilling in the bushes at the minute. LPM decided to jump ship at the last second, and on the left-hand side as well, just below the heart, we do see MTV as well. Again, a little bit of poking at the last second against Apex. They've managed to maintain the armors for the most part. It looks like Vepero's got his standardized items as well. Lizardo, you know, as well, same loadouts that they always go for in terms of relics. MTV actually, you know, steal the Bond at the last second. It's going to be free pickings as well. Hopefully they get the UAV scan as well, which is going to be an extra bit of a boon in terms of information. They've rotated actually really far wide. I'm hoping that they've got a decisive game plan because the next cycle, I think, is going to, you know, reduce the amount of teams we're going to see in play.
Yeah, some nice just like kind of posturing there. So we do have that day 3 turnover, level 11 in play for our creep camps. LPN and Hat fighting over this one. It looks like pretty much split even. Cam gets the one to the south, but all 3 of the teams, like, so this is, you know, the struggle is there's only so many camps to go around. And with 11 squads left, Samiri, can be very kind of like tough to find those.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that you kind of notice with tier 2. I don't know if you've seen this, a similar thing in NA. You know, I've obviously seen kind of tier 2 in NA as well, but maybe you've seen it a bit more intimately. You know, like people don't really go for objectives as concretely as they do in tier 1. You know, in tier 1, people are very, very aggressively posturing over those kind of objectives. I don't know if you see something similar or.
Yeah, like definitely. Oh, nice nade connection. Stunned in return, though. So Flaxy gets a tiny bit of space looking for that heal reset. Velati trying to shut it down. Anti-heal, anti-heal. They find the kill on the top. So Enemy Sorrows is down without greed. GG is on the run. Looper finding an angle to the south, but it looks like the Zeph is going to get caught here. So Flaxy does go down to Kuleg.
Yep, we are seeing Looper just chilling in the bush. He's got to find a way out of this one. It's looking like, you know, spaces are a bit limited in this scenario. At the same time, on Hot, there's like 3 teams having a massive scrap. It looks like MTV caught in a very, very sticky situation. The odds are already found dead by Lizardo. This is looking like potential free pickings as they get another one very, very shortly afterwards. Oh, and it might be actually MTV getting outed here. Oh my God. Crazy stuff.
That is tragic for MTV. You mentioned them being, you know, one of these kind of powerhouse squads. We saw a nice showing from them in game 1. They were the ones applying pressure to Apex just 1 minute ago when we panned down there. We look back with the third party showing up from FLF. The tables had turned big pressure on them into Storm. Now it's Cam and Hat fighting over this hatchling. I think that was sniped by Hat. It was Slug Wave coming out from Milk Honey after the Primal Slam. It's 1, it's 2. The Kingpin's going crazy. Finds another slam into the hook. Can the enemy one get away? It's Vanu just doing everything they can to live here. Cannot. Milk Honey 3 for 3.
Dude, that was everything you could want from a team fight, man. You're getting the soul, you're getting a whole team kill as well in an isolated situation. That's such a big boon for those guys. Really, really nicely played.
Yeah, beautiful, and always like satisfying when you kill the like mirror of your hunter. It's a Kingpin killing Kingpin for the final ball. There's something like slightly more satisfying about that. As we see GG, they did live. So Looper able to find the train res. Beautiful snipe answered back from the train tracks, though. It does leave GG with still 2 alive.
Yep, and I think there is a lot of space. Well, I say that Apex are looking to encroach upon LPN. They've actually done a decent amount of damage to them. They're forcing them out from every single direction. Euphoria is trying to gain a bit of space, but Lizardo is saying no to that spanner and tries to be the shield that Oath is supposed to be in this scenario, but he's already been pummeled. No shield left as well, in a little bit of a troubling situation as Apex continue to apply pressure. They're going to be able to lose the Bond at the very minimum, maybe even lose a couple of lives here, as we do see Hat coming in for some potential free pickings. The Momo has got the double dash up to the right-hand side, but he's getting absolutely peppered by LMBs, and one more by Milk Honey will seal the deal. It's Ranta actually gets the kill credit. Cut Ice takes down Euphoria. LPN are actually fully outed. One less team on the battlefield.
Yo, Hat is feeling themselves, bro. They are just forward. Sure. It's awesome. They are like connecting too. Pretty big pressure on the Apex. Looking for a railgun from Ranter there to stop these buys and repairs, but it looks like they are going to get him through. So Apex with the fire down, they get the reset. Hat doing the same exact thing on their side. Likely going to see round 2 down there, but meanwhile, JP2 continuing the hunt from game 1. Find 2 from DDK. Liger is down.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. I think, for example, if JP2 face like a really good Oath comp, I think they're going to have a lot more struggles than they would typically. But we don't really see as many Oath comps as we would in like tier 1, for example, which makes it a lot more open to play Illuna and try and get those roots for free. Kind of have that super duper hyper aggressive Illuna playstyle that we see from like kind of the one tricks that are really really incredible at that character. Like for example, like such as Micah Munch, such as Bobs. There's too many to mention, even from like history's past. Oh my god.
So, dude, DDK, they find the train res, but it results in 2 dying on the way out, FLF. And so Reaper trying to just dash through and live, but with both these spots, Hat surely not letting him get away. These guys are on a freaking tear in game 2.
Dude, it's just sometimes you've got to make the leap of faith, and unfortunately that was not successful. That resulted in the team's death, unfortunately. Fish are getting absolutely pressured up by JP2. This might be another potential spike here as Bobs goes in with a very aggressive send in. There goes the super forward dash to get at least one route connection, but the dash has gone really far forward. The Fuselage popped by iDrive. The LMBs keep coming out. Just bought Fish, I think, just enough time, but Bobs is just looking to mirror it fearlessly. I think he's going to be looking for another route if possible onto Piggy. Pops the air blast, has to TP forward. Maybe looking for the stun. Well, who's going to get it there first, though? That's the question as the LMBs keep coming in. Bobs does kill iDrive at the last second. Grosslin there gets a nice chunky punch at the last second, stopping Bobs just temporarily. But now we're looking at Boo as well on the left-hand side. They're just holding ground as long as possible. The crown's been picked up. 1 minute 25. We're seeing a nice clean dash over to the right side. Velati trying to get that Pokemon possible, trying to get the orb explosion. They do get it. And Piggy, there is no crown anymore.
Dude, what a crazy sequence. And Boo coming up from the south, giving Lepiggy nowhere to go there. So does snag the crown, gets taken out by J2P, forced back into him in the end. J2P playing so aggro. So GGG fighting Apex over this heart res. It looks like kill going through for the side of Flaxy. They're going to get it back here in about 1 second as they proc this heart res. So Rhapsody right back online. They're shifting forward, right back in it. Don't care. Hat is here as well. So much aggression. Oh, nice double bola, but it's on the way out.
Yeah, I wish sometimes, I used to play Zeph quite a lot, and it always feels so satisfying, but then it also feels really bad when you can't extract the value after you've done the Vortex Charm, dude. It's so unfortunate. Oh, but a massive catch-out. Flakes already has to pop the bubble as well. It just innately already found dead as the 2-second winds come out, man. It's a massive gust of wind coming out from in the north direction, it feels like. And Velati also finds Rohans at the last second. Flakes now, he's got basically nothing left in the tank. He gets a nice little dash at the last second, trying to feather like a god. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Ranta taking down Boo. Dude, he's just left with 5 teams. Another fight unraveling straight afterwards.
Bro, Hat has no stops this game. This is like the most aggression I've maybe seen out of a team in SUPERVIVE in a hot minute. They are just holding their W key. Nuke out for Milk Honey, breaking up space, looking for the fish into it, but not going to be able to connect. JP2 right behind him, though, playing aggression. So the only thing that stops JP2's aggression is running into Hat. Hat not slowing down for anything.
Dude, Hat have picked up 18 kills so far. We still got 5. Bro, that's insanity, man. This is a mega kill game for those guys. Hopefully they can make it out with the victory as well to get those extra placement points. But Para last alive for Apex, chilling on the top right side. We're looking at Fish as well, Grussel and Bear. You know, the reses are not looking opportune at all. You know, if someone's got the 3K, they can maybe buy a crown, or if they're super duper rich, they can obviously buy the res as well. Milkoni trying to get the hook in. Unfortunately, unsuccessful. Ranta dashes across temporarily, but then he's like, nope, the hook didn't connect. I am jumping ship. Well, literally, he's on one. But at the same time, I was looking at Bakara on the right hand side. He's chilling on the train tracks for now, looking to find the res. Does get it successfully at the last second. I think he's going to be able to stick it completely, but his team is going to take a lot of damage.
Oh, it's going to be rough. Yeah, so JP2, find the last member of Fish. I was going to say 5 squads left, but 2 of them only have a single member, Fish being one of those. Oh, the Peril going down. No! Oh my God, Lazaro lives with 10 HP, making it into Storm after the res. So what's the trade worth it, Samir?
No, the answer is no. But sometimes you just have to have that kind of faith that, you know, I don't know. You've already battle tested what the storm is going to do to your body, man. It's going to absolutely age it, you know, morph it, cripple it. But, you know, sometimes you just got to take the risk. You're feeling right, you know, you just got to go for it, man. I don't know.
I like it. It was close there. Like they were all, if like a little less storm damage, they would have made it in. But resulting in a similar situation, just with less resources. Lizardo, last member left for Apex, does have some space to the south, though, as we see our other 3 squads kind of posturing to the north. Hat looking at FLF, not wanting to overcommit, knowing there are 2 other squads left. But look at this level disadvantage. It's level 14s and 15s with full gold armor against 10s and pretty chipped out blues for the side of FLF.
Oh, at the same time, Apex did find himself dead. Yeah, we're just left with 3 teams now. It looks like a lot of pressure's being applied actually by FLF. JP2 taking a bit of damage, but that provides an opportune moment for the... Guys, looking to get a couple more kills here. One more LMB after being, you know, defrosted from that snowman is going to be able to get the kill. The Arcane Railgun unfortunately misses, so FLF are going to survive with 1 member from maybe like a couple more breaths. I assume, there we go, JP2 taking out Sparta. And now we're just left with 2 teams. I was not expecting that train to just come out and take both members out. Milk Honey, what were you doing there?
They were not expecting it either, bro. Just... Oh, Milk Honey, no! Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we are down to 2. It's actually our 2 most aggressive squads over the course of this match. Bubs echoing that, shifting forward, looking for the aggro route. Milk Honey trying to answer back, barely wide on the Abyssal Grasp.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's had to pop the E-Plat to guarantee he's got enough space to kind of continue playing here. The portal play comes through. There goes the Fusillade as well. Looks like an aggressive dash up to the north side. Well, enough space for them to buy to not take all that Fusillade damage. The train's coming again. Hopefully no one dies in this scenario. Milk Honey's nice to dash it. No, never mind. I spoke too soon. I thought that would be this thing. They're dead. And we're just left with the definitive 2v2.
You did it to him. I was gonna say, oh, huge root, gonna force him off this res. So with the mobile beacon, with that root, Bubs able to bring J2P back to full force. They really want to maybe force this before. Oh, they get the box res. Really heads up play from Hat. Really nice from both sides, actually trading those reses, getting back online here.
Yep, and the typical explain what we've already what we've seen from Bubs. He's actually sending in with a pad play straight onto Hats. They've already used a couple of dashes. Maybe an opportune moment now for the rest of the JP2 members to go for a full strike. Bubs is listening for as long as possible. The Snowman's come out. Oh, they get a kill on at the last second. Hat are now just 2 members. I don't know if they've got another res, up their sleeve somehow. I don't know if they've accrued all that money. Maybe they can go for a second one potentially. Milk Honey is rapidly running out of space. There goes the LMB poke continuously. Kuleg is getting massive damage potential to Milk Honey. Dashes up onto the E-Plat at the last second. Can't do too much more. Is found dead. And we're just left with Ranta trying to chill on that E-Plat just temporarily. But Bubs goes in with the aggressive sending. There goes the Arcane Railgun. And then we see a massive abyssal fight. A fight in the abyss with these 2 LMB players, these ghosts. But we are looking at JP2 as the victors of Game 2.
That was a crazy game, bro, because Hat was just going crazy the entire time. We saw them run into JP2 like a minute before, 2 minutes before that final fight was kind of the one time they like slowed down for a sec. But JP2 was doing the same exact thing. So at the end, we get those 2 teams clashing. Yeah. Really epic final battle, trading a kill for kill, both finding a res and then looking for the re-engage. Really fun kind of final fight to watch. Courageous, what do you think, bro? After game 2, bullet train action, you think Magical would be proud?
I think Magical would be super proud.
Sorry, you were a little quiet, bro. Are you there?
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, I think Magical will be super proud of what he's seeing here.
Let's go. Is anything like standing out to you or like surprising you based on you having like been watching these teams for the last like 2 months? Like anything you weren't expecting?
Yeah, so JP2 and Hat, I feel both have a very aggressive comp, right? With the Shiv, and you see the Aluna, right, just dashing in. And if you look at the other comps there, the teams are starting to pick up like more defensive champs, like Oath, and you can sometimes see a Void or something. And I was expecting these offensive comps not to have such a high impact in these later games, but it looks like still these very high offensive comps are doing a good job in getting all those kills and landing it to the finals.
Great stuff, great stuff. Yeah, there's been so much, back and forth. It feels like between at least a couple of these teams. They always circle each other. They, either wound each other really heavily and then get the res off, come back as a full 3-man, maybe take out another team, recollect their kind of resources. Just looking at this kind of replay as well. Apex with this crazy train play, unfortunately unsuccessful. The Roots coming out, the stuns on this train, getting so many kills, dude. It was crazy.
Dude, this final sequence was wild. I I love the aggression, and I want to echo like what Courageous was just saying. Like I feel like a lot of the tier 1 squads have, especially with the TTK changes, another double here for the train going for a lot of tier 1 squads have transitioned to these like triple damage comps, really like leaning into like that kill pressure. But and it's very cool to see like some of these guys doing that out here. But an interesting thing for the tier 2 scene in North America, what we just witnessed last night in SNS, they're playing very like support heavy comps. We saw a lot of Evas, a lot of Zephs really leaning into that sustain, being able to like have more options to recover in these fights. So it's an interesting kind of difference, and it's interesting to see with these guys linked up with the tier 1 coaches from EU, sort of echoing that strategy and that being very effective.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we'll continue to see that happen, as more coaching, more workshops will be created in the future. You're going to see, kind of more information being available as well. So you're going to see a lot of players adapting to, whatever one trick is an absolute god at that character, that we've just seen that information being passed on. We've seen it so many times before. I expect to see it, continue to see it in the future. Let's
go. All right, so anything Courageous before we roll into game 3 here that you want to call out?
No, I just want to say this is game 3, and after this the points will be posted, so these teams can really check what teams they have, how many points they need to get some prizes, and what teams they have to watch out for.
Very good. Sounds excelente. So game 3 going to be starting very shortly here. I wanted to come back to you, Samiri. Is there anything on your end that has surprised you today versus, having casted these guys in the past?
It's just, as Courageous mentioned, JP2's kind of very, very late formation. So, I've seen them maybe a couple of times kind of scattered amongst the scrims, not as this current formulation. And, we did see kind of the glimmers of beauty here and there, but, under this, under today's kind of formation, it's looking really, really healthy so far. And they're, taking names pretty much consistently. I don't know if anything is going to change that, because they consistently take that same approach, and they seem to keep getting value. So.
Yeah, and it's going to be, if anyone can slow down Bubs the Battle Bunny, because it's just been going turbo on that Aluna so far. So we see coming into game 3, we got kind of a west to east drop here. Gold armors in gridlock again. A lot of teams dropping out earlier for prior objectives. We see JP2, the team we were just talking about, landing in Prisma nearby FLF, who made it pretty far into game 2. Looks like only one squad actually hot dropping into gridlock. There is another one landing in stacks above them, can connect quickly to there with that teleporter, but going to be uncontested.
Yeah, I think it's Apex and Boo in this scenario. So Apex is nothing new there, but Boo is actually a bit of a kind of a recent revelation. Maybe it's, I don't know if they're going for a kind of a targeted academy drop. Maybe there's some sort of a kind of meta game plan going on there. But you know, it's been a long time since the academy was the powerhouse it once was. I don't know if you remember.
True.
Very early on in the game's kind of progression. Yeah, going academy was the drop to go to for that level.
Yeah.
7 or level 6, I guess. Maybe.
I actually have so many like memories of like super spicy academy level 1s because it did used to be just such a good go-to. Kind of like Cold Fang maybe has held on to that a little bit more than Stacks has, but it's the same way Cold Fang has been at times where it's just so contested that like I have just such good memories of epic fights going down there.
Yeah, and it's always one of those kind of very hard win-loss fights. You either win, and when you win, it's like you typically get a whole team wipe at the last second. It's so crazy, man.
It's the coin flip gameplay. It's what I'm best at, bro.
100%. We're looking at JP2 kind of wandering, sneaking beneath DDK, maybe looking for a potential clean in the MTV, get a little bit of damage. They get punched around a little bit, but Lagra is in mega trouble now, getting absolutely LMB poked. The Arcane Railgun does connect at the last second, and Kuleg finds Lagra now. It's now looking to be JP2 or a spike at the last second. Bob's taking mega damage, has to dash out completely. Breeze is looking to get the aggressive chase up as well to negate the space as much as possible from JP2. Bobs gets the nice little dash route in. Oh, Dowser is found dead at the last second. They're turning it around potentially, but they do have Breeze to maybe stick this res.
Oh, and he is gonna maybe hold it with a bright shield. He does get him up, but they trade the kill on the other side. Doesn't matter. Bubs cannot be slowed down on the Battle Bunny. Trying to wipe MTV here. If they are able to get it, would be tragic for MTV to go 2 early placements out in a row after we saw such a strong performance in game 1.
And that's what I was saying with that kind of oath. That's the kind of like the only character that just makes Illuna sometimes completely weak. You know, you just block the route and then her whole game plan's just gone to nothingness, it feels like, you know. So that's why you just see him surviving at the last second. You know, even got the Wisp res, you know, that Bobs just kept getting resets over and over again. And, you know, it's a nice little couple of kill points at the very least to pick up, but they are going to be able to reset, I think, in this scenario. We're looking at Fish as well, with just farming up the Guardians, of course, from Cobras, any last remnants of mobs as well. And aside from that, I think things are looking relatively stable. Actually, we look on the kill feed, Milk Honey has actually taken down 1 member as well, so that's looking a bit spicy there. We're looking at
Alright, let's go.
Picked up 4 kills as well. Now they're looking to find a Gross Lambert. Looks like trying to get some extra damage if possible, but he's running out of space. Got the Sky Shark. That's the move and pick up at the last second. Might not be enough as Bobs gets punched in, but it's not enough for a stun. The NBs keep coming out. At the last second they get the spike.
Dude, this is what Bubs is just non-stop forward, dude. I respect it so much. Instantly onto the Sky Shark. LePiggy, we've seen do some crazy stuff. Remember, this is our player that had the double crown proc in game 1, trying to just keep Fish in it, but JP2 on the hunt here. But MTV is back, looking to answer the pressure, turn things around onto JP2, find him maybe on the back foot. But look at these levels, Samiri. I think we're just in night 1. We got 7s and 8s for the side of JP2.
Yeah, it's a really, really big snowball. But of course, you know, day 2 will kind of even things out potentially as long as everyone's able to get XP. We are seeing a lot of teams kind of on the bottom right hand side, maybe about 3 or 4 kind of on the top right. So I think in terms of the convergence for that next circle, we're probably going to see maybe potentially 2 fights. I imagine it depends if people really want to contest for specific mob camps that they're kind of close to, or just want that kind of extra XP. Manacor seems to be kind of potentially free as well at the moment. We do see Cam, I think, in this scenario, kind of walking up to it very, very slowly. And I'm wondering if there might be a fight brewing up there at one point, but only time will tell.
Very likely. Very likely.
Very likely.
I did see Sun just a little bit above them, so going to be fighting over the Coils camps, and GG is there as well. So we got multiple squads kind of posturing to find these Coils camps. It looks like Cam is going to be kind of forced out to the south. They're going to run right into Fish in the desert, but there's barely any camps here, Samir. It's basically just this big guy with some screamers working your way up through desert. It looks like they're going to run right into each other.
Yeah, Cam have definitely recognized this. They're like, whoa, the level 6 guys, there goes the double squid play. Oh my god, man. Only one really connects, but the stun doesn't, unfortunately. There goes the hook, though.
There
and
it
that's
is.
likely to be a death. And oh my god, the absolute chunkage. Gross Lambert is found dead. Fish now have to look for some sort of other res opportunity, and they're going to be running out of space quite rapidly. I think Cam are going to stay hot on the scent for a decent while until they've created enough space here, but I'm not really sure how thirsty it looks like Cam are. Or is this looking like a very, very aggressive chase? Oh, the squid connection with the dunk. They actually get it this time. Really, really nice play. There goes the slug wave. The few slots also pop by iDrive, trying to provide an extra bit of time if possible. A couple more LMBs are sent. Oh, this time the squid doesn't connect by Black Lamb. A couple more LMBs. Full fight in the abyss. Hopefully no one gets spiked in this scenario. We've seen it a lot of times before that they get the TP play. Casimo come out of nowhere. iDrive manages to survive, baby, with the infuser as well.
Wow. Yo, so I was going to say these guys need to split up to kind of separate this cam pressure. They do exactly that. Everyone decides to chase iDrive. He runs into Sun. Sun actually protects him as he flash daggers through, able to live with 1 health, and Lepicki's still alive to the south. So Fish actually very good at kind of playing from behind. They were, you know, that's how they kind of popped off in game 1, was playing these crowns from behind. And we've seen here, under a ton of pressure, able to survive multiple instances of teams trying to run them down.
Yep, and it looks like Vapero's going for a very... Oh, no, he actually lost his ulti there.
Beautiful.
Absolutely chunked, dude. That was a very, very clean oath pay LPM with the super duper clean follow-up afterwards. The Abyss Breaker's been popped in this scenario by Breeves. Actually temporarily split. Oh, nice spike by Trepper at the last second. We're looking at the Zara. That's the life for Apex. Oh,
yo! Dude. Crazy! The upset, bro, out at 12th, I think, as one of our, you know, known as like one of the most powerful teams in the lobby. That's going to be massive for all the other squads playing here to really stand a chance, like pushing into these top spots on the scoreboard. 12th place with no kills over a 6-game series really kind of hurts your chances. It's not over yet for Apex, though. You can always kind of drop one, like we were talking about yesterday. You just got to really, you know, mount the pressure over the next 3 games. But what that means to Miri is these other squads that have been kind of really gunning here, Hat, MTV, JP2, now they're feeling even more confident.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And of course, this hooks at any opportune moment. They're trying to get a hook if possible. He's not getting the connection. Greed actually finds Reaper at the same time. And I think we saw DDK with just 1 member left getting that rest successfully at the last second. I think they had a fight with JPC on the top right-hand side on the train tracks, and they lost it severely, of course. But managing to get the res at the very least. Flakes also finding the Marmo. Panorama also dead. So there might be just 1 member left. Gets the res at the last second. Dashes up to the top right-hand side. Right, Boo are trying to chase this one to the end of the earth. Flakes is trying to get that poke in whenever possible. Lamama's healed up a little bit more here, and now it's going to be potentially a little mini 1v1, but Lamama continues to dash up to the top right side, trying to get the escape if possible. Hopefully he can do it. I think he's going to be successful there.
Yeah, so nice out. Boo claiming the Gold Guardian for themselves. I love the Huddy pickup for winning is for losers. I like that name too. On the Huddy, repping it. I also, Hat has lost their very aggro Kingpin. Milk Honey is not around right now, so these boys looking for res. Nice mortar out from Sun, though. Nice chip damage, continuing to break away that armor and steal these camps away. Hat looking for a res angle in the desert. Oh my god.
Yeah, oh, but looks like Kama found them, and there goes the Feast Loft pop kind of prematurely. The hook unfortunately doesn't connect. Yeah, Sava gets a little bit of damage, but Cat Heist is able to jump. Oh, the squid nearly gets the connection. Vunu, he managed to survive for this long, but I think Cat Heist might be able to turn this one around. Keeps getting those LMBs in, absolutely tenderizing Vunu at the last second. We do see a little bit more of a dance continuing. Kaiser there is now for round 2 from Cam. Kaiser already has to dag up to the top left-hand side, already kind of temporarily baiting them, but Black Lamb is there waiting with open arms, trying to get the kill. The hook still misses, and the squid. Kaiser's managed to survive basically forever. Black Lamb trying to seal the deal. Unfortunately, doesn't get the Battlefield connection either. He's 80 strafing forever. It feels like in this narrow corridor, his time should surely be up very, very soon, but he's still surviving. Tries to go for the dash up.
He's
double dash up to the
bro.
north side. Misses the dunk as well, gets the bonus connection. Couple more LBs. Maybe he has to get a reset, but has found just enough space to escape. What was that?
What in the heck? Cat Heist going crazy. Black Lamb gets the squid forward, maybe in the stun. Cat Heist somehow able to live. Both overheated shift onto ground for Black Lamb. Vunu shifting forward now, finds the slam. Can he finish off Cat Heist here? Cat Heist one more shift, almost gets the reset himself. What is happening, Samir?
Against all odds, somehow he made it out of there, man. Oh my god. Like, he got divorced, his wife took all the kids, everything, all the money, you know, he lost everything. He became homeless, he's in a cardboard box, and somehow he just made it out of there. I don't know what happened, man.
Holy, that is wild, bro. Cat Heist with the live there in the crazy 3v1 sequence over like the last 2 minutes, wiggles their way out. Epic for Hat. Now, can they find the res? As we look just to the right here, it's MTV trying to push into Mana Coil. Sun doing a nice job chipping away with those mortars. Actually, some really nice mortar connections for the Mercury on Sun.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We do see Kaz as well, I think, taking some sort of tactical break in the bush. I think he had to calm down there, calm his nerves after like insane kind of sequence. We are taking bush, he's maybe taking it, dancing around a little bit of damage. Oh, aggressive for an aggressive sending. Gonna avoid getting dunked at the last second as well. Takes a major amount of damage from the slug wave. The napalm also has to be dropped by Kuleg. You are seeing the napalms also being, sorry, not the napalms, the orbs being dropped between both teams, but not too much value acquired just yet. The spike grenade doesn't get any value either. And I think the dancers probably just stopped for the moment as GP2 get even more XP from these last couple of mobs. We're also seeing kind of rotations around from various teams. Reaper last alive. I think he's looking for the crown, I think. So that's going to be another exciting moment for this game. We're looking at Kuleg as well, slowly walking up towards FLF this time.
Yeah, and the longer those teams just kind of stand and look at each other, JP2 is winning because they have the creep camp on their side. So eventually, other team is going to peel out, look for their own camp to the south. That was GG. And meanwhile, it's FLF to the north, trying to work their way in for the Mana Coils camps as well. I think 4 squads here at this point. JP2 doing what they do best, shifting forward, trying to find a route connection into an engage. Nice Nova Orb out, going to connect for Velati. Sun Charge Rifle connecting over and over again. Sparta 1 HP. Can he live this final shot? Railgun out. They are going to get Maria 1 on the Kingpin down. They get 2. Bubs looking to finish off FLF. Can Giraffe trade over Abyss here? Is not going to be able to. Bubs and JP2 find another squad wipe.
Dude, it just seems like there's levels to that kind of Abyss play, man. You know, once you've mastered it, it feels like Bubs has really, really got that, you know, on par, it feels like. As we do see Looper taking a massive amount of damage at the last second as well. Kronos going for a full sending against Flaxy, along with Kazmo for the reinforcements. The Scarshock's been picked up at the last second, and maybe a nice little clean escape. The Piggy also manages to absolutely decimate Greed, and a lot of teams now just have very, you know, just stragglers, it feels like.
Yeah, and speaking of stragglers, we saw Fish on the kind of poverty run very early this game. It was, I believe, or it was Le Piggy and their Shiv left that was able to make it out with 1. So they're able to fully recover now, have some vision of that. Meanwhile, MTV, Abyssal Breaker out to the north for Breeze, doing some nice damage onto Sun. Sun's been doing such a good job holding this territory, though. They've been working off of this Mana Coils camp for basically this entire game, and a lot of it's off of the back of these Suncheese mortars. Kronos following up with the shifts forward and the railgun from the Ghost here, Kazumo. The comp just working really well. Finally, right as I say that, they're pushed out of their position by MTV.
Oh, we do see iDrive here on super dual HP. Kazmo is trying to get those LMBs when possible. Spike Grenade getting a connection, unfortunately. This break has already popped as well. Kronos is getting a little bit of healing as well at the last second from Suncheese, but he's getting poked from behind, it feels like, well, from the north side. You're seeing a weird fan being dropped as well on the portal. Kazmo tries to dash up as well, trying to get a couple of LMBs, but it gets, unfortunately, caught by the Singularity and Stun. Absolutely chunked out to Fish, get a nice little, an extra kill.
Yeah, caught by the Singularity, though. Happens to the best of us. Nice connection, though, for Fish. Looper for GG, caught as the last member left. So GGG making their exit at 10th here. Still a good chunk of squads left, Samiri. Almost some more early exits, but a lot of teams doing a really good job surviving, finding those reses.
Yeah, exactly. And MTV only actually have 3 kills so far, but they're looking to encroach upon LPN, trying to take them out completely. They're running out of space rapidly. Fourier is trying to dance as much as possible. Unfortunately, gets chunked, and LPN are definitively now a 2-man as Panorama has to jump ship completely. Now has to avoid the gaze of Cam as well, it seems like, at the same time. Unfortunately, also gets spiked, so we're just left with 1 member, and at the same time, Sun are completely outed there as well.
Dang, and like it was as soon as Sun got kind of pushed out of the territory, they were not able to leverage their comp successfully. Fish getting pushed as well here. iDrive on the Shiv, barely any health with the full force of JP2 on him, does get knocked into Storm and go down. I think Fish do have 1 member left. Of course, it's Le Piggy working the magic, trying to find a 3rd crown of the day, needs to kill Lamamo. Are they going to be able to commit for it? They don't. Le Piggy has that kind of awareness, calls it off, hangs out in bush. Meanwhile, it's going to be Cam trying to run out. They get the crown proc through. LPN answers back. I think they found a spike onto a member of Cam. Cam going to get punished for it. It's MTV in from the right. Abyssal Breaker, but the Singularity reversing. Can they find these kills? With such low health bars on both sides, they get a reset for the side of MTV. And a second. I cannot believe MTV pulls that out, Samiri.
Dude, what a turn of events. And JP2 are looking to absolutely just slather out MTV here. They're running out of space rapidly. Dowser looks like a double TP play at the last second. Dowser getting an extra bit of poking. I think they couldn't do anything on the other side because there's so much Abyss, so much zone damage. LPM were there waiting as well, so it was looking like a definitive death. And JP2 I picked up a couple more kills there. I just want to call out on the kill feed, you know, amidst the chaos, it looks like a Hat also got outed as well, dude. So Oh my god, this game
Wow.
has been absolutely
Yeah.
mental.
So with Apex out at 12th, actually some big squads that are putting up big points out early in game 3. If we look at who's left, it's really JP2, it's Fish, it's MTV that we've seen kind of working their way toward the top. If they can lock, any of those squads can lock in a win this game, going to give them a much better position to fight for that first place position on the scoreboard. So MTV, one of those squads, Trep A grabbing the crown, LPN under a bit of pressure here, going to get pushed to the north into Boo. Boo looking very strong after pretty quiet showing so far. Level 14 Huddy with the gold armor on a second member as well.
Yeah, and I think when I saw in the kill feed, it was Boo actually taking out 2 members of Hat, and I think maybe one of the person took out the last member, if I remember correctly from the kill feed. But they're going to have to play, as you mentioned, kind of for a little bit of space here. Piggy chilling it potentially out of bounds as long as possible before he takes the out of bounds damage. But 15 seconds left. He's already popped the air blast as well, just saw at the last second. Is winning, goes in for a very aggressive dash. He just absolutely gets shredded at the last second now with a less than a third HP. And there goes a little bit more damage. Trying to get the TP if possible. 5 seconds is not enough. And Fish are outed. We're just left with 5 teams now. Trepper, as you was mentioning before as well, with the other crown pickup, 35 seconds, playing through this win rings as long as possible, has to avoid all of this. No!
Oh my.
Like super duper clean spike. Oh man.
Dude, so our 2 crowns go down back to back there. Dudes are wishing they had one of their own, and maybe our 3rd squad wiped in very quick sequence here. It's the Lone Saros against the full force of JP2. Kuleg finds the final blow.
Yeah, and LPN are rapidly running out of space as well. They're going to have to take the rail play down on the south side, maybe jump on the Sky Shot, but it's got very little fuel left, so they're going to have to go for some sort of alternate option. The circle does provide them with a little bit of space, but they may have to encroach upon JP2. But, you know, as we know, JP2 will probably going to be jumping on DDK in about 5 seconds. I expect that to happen very soon from Bobs. There we go. Goes in for the anomaly play. Unfortunately, misses the route. Tries to get a couple of LMBs and gets a nice little air blast to knock at least 2 people into the zone temporarily. There goes the chilling finale. Temporarily, well, majorly split from the team now. Zefs is trying to dash down to the right hand side, maybe take the anomaly for an extra bit of survivability. Drops the wall as well. LMB's keeping sent in. There goes Kuleg with the aggressive send in. Unfortunately misses the spike grenade, but the zone is going to take him out.
Yeah, so JP2 continuing the kill farm. That one goes over to Bubs. DDK, their 2 members left, just kind of posturing on the wall here, trying to stay out of vision. 4 squads remain. All of them are pretty much at full force, except that 1 member missing from DDK. So DDK needs to find this res. Boo looking very strong still with the armors we mentioned, the levels we mentioned, has this mana coils territory. They're going to be looking to hold that as we look at this next circle shift. It's DDK found out of their spot, now put right in the middle of every squad. They're going to run right into the arms of our 4th squad of the north. LPN is waiting, the spike connecting for JP2. Somehow someone from DDK is still alive.
Yeah, this is crazy stuff. We're seeing Bob's trying to actually fight for space against Boo, but they've got the Chonkers and they've got Hudson as well, which is almost like another kind of dynamic Chonker cannon. It feels like with the minigun attached there. And
dynamic Chonker cannon.
That's his alternate name. That's his original name from the developers.
I mean, one of his abilities should just be Catball, dude. If you think about his kit, that would like fit well.
Who knows, man? In an alternate universe, you know, there might be some sort of other TBA Hudson or something along those lines. You're looking at Lagra as well. Picked up the crown. 1 minute 25. He's trying to circle around JP2, but I don't think they're going to have any of it. But Bobs is actually applying a lot of pressure onto Boo. Now actually resorted back to his team at the last second. Napalm's already been dropped. Lagra's managed to AD strafe it for as long as possible. We see a couple of LMBs being sent in. Hopefully he can make it out. Pops the ulti, dashes through, makes that last hurrah if possible. Maybe gets a cheese spike. It's not enough. And DDK are outed by JP2. We're left with 3 teams.
Dude, you just can't get away from Bubs. LPN maybe going to be able to find him off of this corner, but does get vision of them and in time backs out. But when you're watching Bubs over Abyss, bro, he's just on top of you. Like anyone he's chasing, just right on top of him. But now LPN getting pinched. Mega Avalanche out from the south from JTP, and Boo crushing in from the north. So much pressure onto LPN here. Can they survive? Jewel going crazy. Lamamo trading 1. Can he find a second for the health reset? Meanwhile, Oath playing around the Wisp. They get the res for Euphoria. Not gonna matter in the end if they can not find a way out here. Doing their very best, but Panora taken out on the Oath as well.
Dude, that was such a crazy sequence. Oh, you see that's the rest of the last second. I don't think it's going to be enough. They got the attachment. Can make it out of this one. Flakes is taking a lot of damage. Try and tank as long as possible. 1 HP. Can he make it out of this one? Oh, no, he's spawned dead. We're just looking at winning last alive now. Trying to get this LMBs. I think Flakes might be able to get rest here as well, which will be an extra nice little boon. But Flakes has to jump ship completely here. They're going to be mega fighting in the Abyss now. Bobs still manages to feather back up onto the north side kind of on the bonfire, maybe gets a nice little couple of cheeky buys here, but Boo are going to be running out of space rapidly. Once Bobs has that route in, he's going to go in for that dash. We've seen it many times before on Illunas, and Kuleg is trying to get the LMBs as well as long as possible. But there, never mind, actually takes that Bobs. Flakes with a super nice dash combo into the wall. Really, really nicely done.
Exactly what they need to do, but on the other side, Saros answers back. It's the Nova Orb taking out Huddy. Wisp form on the fire. Beautiful Eclipse Portal right on top of Flakes. He takes it back. Can he get the space he needs? So much pressure coming out on both sides. Looking to just do his best to juke, working that portal angle, but there's one on both sides, Samiri. You cannot escape the pressure of JP2.
And, you know, just like me when I was like, whatever, like 12 years old, playing Portal for the first time, I was shooting portals all over the place. I had no idea what I was doing. Adrenaline was running high, even just trying to solve a puzzle. You know, it felt like Flakes was in a very similar situation there. But, yeah, what a great game.
And that's the way that sequence, the way LPN got the Oath Res off and their Ghost was back up. Like, I think had a window to maybe turn something around there. We saw get a kill, get a health reset. I thought, like, if LPN came back from that, they would have been, like, they would have won from having literal everyone dead, just getting a last minute, like, Oath Res. In the end, not able to close it out. Super well fought from all three squads in that final circle, though. In the end, it is JP2 that finds the victory.
Dude, Boo had such a kind of venomous strike from the top side. You know, once the Hoodie started getting those LMVs in, you knew it was over for LPN in that scenario. I think if Panero managed to paint enough jewel stacks, it would have been really crazy to see that kind of aggressive dash down. I think he had 2 stacks before they expired, so he couldn't really go for like a full in, but oh man. You always want this kind of Jewel players. I feel like Jewel is one of those players that, you know, really, you know, back in the past again, you know, she used to be such an amazing character, and how, you know, she's really like down in the meta at the moment, I would say, but you know,
we did see Lamamo like kind of popping off there, like for LPN, like in that final sequence while they were getting third party crushed in the middle. So really well played by all sides. We are out of game 3 here, guys. We're going to take a quick break. On the back half of this break, we're going to get Courageous back in here to give us the lowdown for the back half, so don't go anywhere. Hello, hello. We are back for ViveEUCamp Finals. Just witnessed an insanely hype start for the first half of the tournament. 3 games, 3 banger games, back to back to back. Now rolling into the second half, we have a very exciting conclusion to this 7-week event. I am rejoined by Samiri here on the cast. We're also rejoined by Courageous for this little break we have.
Yo,
yes.
yeah.
So looking at the scores after this break, we see that JP2 is definitely very high in the lead with 111 points, which is very far in the lead ahead of Hat. So these other teams really have to watch out.
JP2 is actually farming, bro. That is a crazy points gap. Wait, Courageous, is that anything of what you were expecting to see here halfway through?
This is very definitely not what I was expecting. I was also talking.
Very definitely not.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. During the break, I was also discussing it with some of the people that I organized this with, and this might have slipped under the radar. But yeah, these 2 players, Kula G and Bubsec, I think they've played a lot of SUPERVIVE, never played scrims, so definitely not what I was expecting from players playing scrims for the first time.
I mean, it just goes to show like experience can transfer over, and you can learn a lot of the micro, even a lot of the macro strategy in kind of solo queue in ranked, but there's just like a different level of like pacing for anyone that's made that jump and gone from high level ranked into scrims. It's just like a different sort of tempo. Almost, there's enough things where it is a bit of a different game. So, you get some of that skill set transferring, but there is still a lot to learn working your way into competitive. It looks like JP2, very quick learners here, turning on the afterburners in the finals.
Yeah, it's just looking so crazy. Yeah, go ahead, Courageous. What are you saying?
Yeah, I also wanted to say, of course, if you look at the rest of the scores, it's looking a lot closer. And of course, 2nd place to 4th place also gets rewards. So if you look at that, it's very, very close. And Hat, MTV, and Apex really have to push for these little extra kills to see who gets on top, who gets 2nd, who gets 3rd, who gets 4th. So it'll still be exciting in that regard for this last games.
And there's like, I love that shout because there's multiple squads that are right under them too. It's Fish at 34, just 3 points out of that, kind of podium spot for 4th, and then Boo right behind them by 1 point at 33. It's actually insanely close, kind of in this 2nd through 6th gap. And then there's a 10-point gap to 7th for DDK, but no one in single digits. Samiri, GGG in 12th, but still already at 10 points. So the kind of skill in this lobby, very close. And JP2 just putting on an exceptional performance so far in the first half, kind of separating themselves at the top.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, as Courageous was saying, it's going to be like kind of a 2nd to 5th where there's going to be the biggest level of contention. I expect JP2 to just keep basically spearheading any team they see and rack up even more kills, unless someone finds out this kind of strategy. If they've been watching them closely or intently enough, they might be able to find that kind of a weak chink in their armor with taking out Bub somehow mysteriously with some sort of stun, taking them out really early on in the fight, and then they can turn it out, turn it around from there. We've seen it happening before. I feel like even for example in a Saturday at SUPERVIVE yesterday with EU, maybe some teams were slowly figuring out how USA were playing, for example. I felt like we were seeing some kind of really close observation happening for some of the teams.
Absolutely. So here we go, diving into the second half of our ViveEUCamp tournament. We are into game 4. It is cross country. We got north to south drop path here. Soul of the Hunt on the map. Soul of Fortitude a little further south, and gold armors in Dawn Caps.
Oh man, it's looking tasty straight off the bat, and I'm not really sure how many teams are going to drop for the armor straight off the bat. It looks like just one again. I'm not sure if they're going to land. I think they were considering landing on the south side of Dawn Caps, but then decided against the full drop. So I think it's most likely to be Apex in the scenario, having that kind of potential 1v1. We are looking at Boo as well. JP2 looking for that kind of wander up. Bubs goes in with the dash. Unfortunately, only gets the route onto the mob, so kind of used this whole combo there. Unfortunately, this Kuleg gets so much damage, but the nice little orb at the last second does allow winning to basically kind of win the fight. Just by the default, it feels like his Kuleg. Now it's a jump ship completely. The LMBs start being sent down. Flakes goes in for the poke, gets a nice at least one little hit at the last second, but I think both teams are going to go their own separate ways.
Yeah, so a little poke, a little trading, and backing out. Huge from Breves, the shift forward into the wall, finding the stun, but Nade answers back from the enemy Ghost here. A little bit of recovery, so it was nice Flaxy to create that separation. Looper now probably posturing for a grab. Breves in again with the spin dash forward, knocking people away. GGG under huge pressure here. Trepe looking to finish, finds Looper. Can he finish? Greed, same time. Flaxy goes down to the north, so very quickly MTV find a full squad wipe.
Yeah, that's really, really nice to see as well. Like the Ghost was just clearing house. It felt like Breves, that's initially engaged to start things off, managed to survive amidst all the damage. Kind of got a little bit of a reset, and then they kind of separated the other two team members, and it was just free pickings from there.
We've seen a couple times now Breves just really powerful entries with the Oath. Even without the Abyssal Breaker, like right there, just the Bright Shield into the wall, creating that separation to like start fights and paying off huge for MTV there.
Yeah, so good, and we all seeing a couple of relics already being picked up before day 2 where they are actually available to buy. So of course, as we saw with a couple of games of Milk Honey with that super duper high roll on day 1, you want to have that economic boom if possible, but if not, you've got to kind of play by the rules of the game and kind of take the kind of standard kind of progression to kind of ascend in power, or ascend in power, should I say. We do see at the same time Fish kind of just dancing against Hat for the moment. The bonus would have been dropped, not getting a stun. Mukoni goes in, gets the dunk at the last second. A couple more LMBs will seal the deal. On to Drive. Is found dead. We are seeing a nice little bit of kiting at the last second by Grosslon Bear. But I think his time is going to be up very, very shortly. He doesn't have the level 7 for the ulti, and is found dead.
Yeah, so kind of the storyline continuing from game 3 before the break. We saw Apex at an exit at 12th, one of our normally top squads. So really kind of hurting their trajectory, and Hat going out fairly early as well after such a dominant performance in the first 2 games. So up to those 2 squads to really bounce back here. Meanwhile, to the north by Imotech, it's LPM looking at JP2. They are going to just back off of this fight, it looks like, surrender that forge position.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are actually not taking such an aggressive approach as they once did. Certainly JP2 have really gone for the aggressive in, and I guess you could argue MTV as well. They just really, really took dominion over that kind of Iron Acres region. You see Hook by Vuni as well, not getting the connection onto Trapper, and I think MTV actually going to maybe look towards Vuni, but he's dashed down to the south side in the zone temporarily. We do seem as well maybe trying to look for the gold key just temporarily for a split second, but I don't know if they're going to be able to find it in time. They're going for a wide rotate in the zone. They're going to make it out relatively unscathed. Of course, the zone is not doing barely any damage, but just above it, we do see DK potentially getting caught up massively here. We do see a spike grenade at the last second, but it's not going to be enough, and the fight doesn't seem to be stopping here, Zik.
Zeph's peeling out with a little bit of health, but meanwhile, MTV and Hat preoccupied with each other. So it looks like DDK are going to make their way out of that pinch, survive the third party from the south, but MTV back out at the same time. So the fight breaks up. Meanwhile, fighting commenced to the north, another 3-way battle. It's Sun, Apex, and Fish. Chilling Finale, ship forward. Are they going to connect? Nice line of sight there from Lizardo, canceling that. So less value. Shift forward from Apero. Can they finish this off? Kronos, nice spin, but is not going to be able to recover the health they need. Suncheese looking to escape on the Sky Shark. A little bit of stasis. Actually crazy juke from Suncheese. What was that, bro? Able to live.
Dude, that stasis play was such a catching off guard sort of idea to do, especially amongst the Sky Shark explosion. You can really capitalize on kind of having that temporarily invulnerable state, man, just to make use of the momentum just afterwards with the dash. Really beautiful play.
Yeah, that was sick. So Suncheese lives another day. I think they did get one more member out as well. Going to be fishing for that recovery res. We do see the same thing. Actually, that was, I think, JP2 down to one member. And Hat continuing the violence from game 2 here, shifting forward. Milk Honey setting things up for the squad. So much damage to follow. Cam very much on the run here. Kaiser just looking to survive this pressure. Ranter has been so consistent on this Ghost. And Samiri, one of my favorite things when I'm playing Ghost is playing with a good Kingpin, bro.
yeah, because you just know that if you hit the spike grenade, it's a guaranteed stun or a hook after. And when a hook happens, at least in the EU especially, that's going to be a guaranteed kill at the very, very least. And of course, as you were saying, if you do hit even just a spike grenade, you get like a 3-man stun. There could be a big slug wave. So it's always just mega synergistic, I think, with KPs.
Yeah, dude, and it's just so good at setting up that damage because of the amount of kind of crowd control he has.
Yeah.
Like he gets a grab, you're just spraying him all the way in, then you sticky him like guaranteed. Like, there's just like a lot of very fun to play a Ghost alongside a strong Kingpin. We see a lot of that combo out here today. Fighting, breaking out to the right, Chilling Finale popped for Suncheese, beautiful teleport in, able to connect the combo, going massive, but Apex arrives for the third party. Can Sun peel out in time now? it looks like they are going to be able to. Apex maybe not giving up the chase.
Yeah, Sun have weathered the storm for such a long time. Hopefully they actually managed to, you know, hold ground and actually go for a really big play. We're seeing a nice little Batagon play at the last second, allowing Suntress to get the extra momentum to, you know, allow his other teammate to kind of back on him, hopefully, in this scenario. I'm hoping they do have a clean escape. You're looking at a bit of a ragged escape from JP2 into the zone, taking a little bit of damage. Almost not looking too healthy, but we know, and kills actually. They have picked up 1 kill so far, Zik. Crazy.
Yeah. I 100%, like, because we saw just a second earlier, we caught a glimpse of their Saros wandering into Storm looking for the res, and he looks like he is going to be able to get it, but someone putting big pressure out onto them, very much slowing down their normal tempo. And if another team can kind of mimic what they were doing in the first 3 games, nothing is out of reach quite yet. There's still the whole back half of the tournament to play, but it is certainly a hill for climbers if you're wanting to scale all the way up into those triple digits for points over this short amount of time. Meanwhile, to the north, FLF posturing against Boo with this hatchling.
Yeah, and surprisingly, winning wasn't, you know, Boo weren't necessarily punished there. FLF were like pretty split after that kind of boss kind of did the explosion animation. You know, we did see Winning going down to the bottom left-hand side, and, you know, FLF didn't want to see, you know, didn't want to kind of exploit that, you know, temporarily team split up. JRF trying to get some poking on the top right-hand side. He's really split from his other teams as well. Boo is surprisingly not going for an aggressive chase. Maybe they just don't have the kind of comp for it, feels, you know, Hudson having that kind of stationary sort of play, really setting up the walls as well. They really want to kind of guarantee this Abyss hatchling, but we do see a couple of other teams rotating over. Grosland Bear already ran out of fuel as well, trying to rotate all the way around the vault. It's going to be a long journey. I think he's gone cold on the center, at least for LPN.
Yeah, and so many teams moving up to the north here, trying to find their bit of territory to play off of, get this XP on the next day turnover here. It's LPN looking at MTV, pretty even kind of levels and armors so far, posturing around this Eclipse portal. Fire out for the side of LPN, just gaining that vision. Wards for MTV as well, kind of trying to trade that info back, but it looks like are going to back off of this fight.
Yeah, they did get a nice little cheeky EMP neutralization on that bot as well. I'm not really sure how much value it acquires, but sometimes it's just a bit of like a, you know, territorial thing. You're just like, hey, that bot's not yours anymore, guys, and just run away like a little kid, you know. When you see another Abyss Breaker being popped as well by Breeze, JP2 have just been split temporarily, but both like with no armors as well. They really want to stabilize this game. They're really not doing too healthily, but you know, a couple of random third parties can really just even the playing field. On the kills field, we also seen Cat Heist, Orca taking Alagria as well, as MTV continue to apply pressure onto JP2. Very aggressive sending. Bob's already found dead. JP2 now just 2 members.
Yeah, the tables have turned. All of a sudden, JP2 not holding W key. It's MTV doing it right into them. Are they going to go for this chase and try to pressure into Cobas? It looks like no, so JP2 is going to get Bubs back on the Battle Bunny. Meanwhile, to the right, Apex and Hat posturing again to look for round 2 against each other. Cat Heist always... Nice grab, though. Coming through from Milk Honey, connects Vipero. Nice second win to split the fight after.
Yeah, and there was a super clean air blast to just buy him just enough time to not get stunned as well, because I think he would have been toast if that did happen. Maybe cancelled kind of mid-ulti at the last second. Vortex Charm, get a nice connection onto Milk Honey. A couple of LMBs, nice summer napalm. The nice spike green as well, because completely negated all of their Cat Heist momentum, and Rahat completely jumped ship this time. Oof.
Yeah, really nice from Apparel, though. Beautiful napalm for the separation and then into the nade connection. Almost getting the nade into the napalm, the Dream Ghost combo, but is going to force off the Shiv either way. So Hat kind of concede that position, move their way to the north. They're going to run into Zeph's, last member of DDK, rocking this crown.
Yeah, 30 seconds left, and you can just look at the minimap. He's absolutely surrounded by teams. It's going to be a very hard escape for him to get out of this one. And there goes the dunk. Oh no! Just afterwards, it wasn't enough. You know, the mantle was, you know, just he wasn't at the 70% threshold, so he wasn't getting insta spikes. But there was so many LMBs being sent in afterwards. He had no chance, dude. Oh.
That's the thing, is like, even if you don't get like insted by the dunk, you're still at the Abyss floor and you're forced to glide if you don't want to die. And so if you're getting sprayed by LMBs just like that, there's sometimes no way out. Fight breaking out between JP2 and FLF. And Apex is here from the north. So JP2 trying to find their momentum back. But insane combo connection for APX, followed up with the Virides Fury coming through. Just massive amount of damage with the beautiful Zeph Myth combo for Apex.
Dude, that was so well tuned and timed by Apex in that scenario. You know, we've seen it a couple of times before, but I think they're really starting to refine that specific process. The Vortex Charm, the second win, the Virides Fury, as you were mentioning, doing so much damage in the blink of an eye. Breathe send it in with a clean Abyssal Breaker, absolutely providing chunkage, but he himself is getting chunked. Euphoria trying to get the kill if possible. They do get it the last second. Arkin Robo takes down one member, just left him one last alive. Lamamo trying to AD strafe. No, in fact, Euphoria is still alive, never mind. Trying to get the rest of the It's not enough in time. And OPN are outed. MTV looking up even healthier. 7 kills picked up so far.
Dude, these ghosts doing so much damage. That was actually such a close fight. They trade, but in the end do go down. It is Sun now battling against Boo. Boo looking very strong. They are going to be able to get the first kill through. Send Sun on the retreat. A little bit of an E-plat out here, but the Huddy for Boo been looking pretty dang strong. And it's Wings, Grabby, Hudson. I actually really like the Relic combo here too.
Yeah, he's always, I feel like especially he's always run Wings at the very least. I think it's just because Hudson's lack of ability. You try and do anything to make up for it, trying to get kind of maybe a drive-by attacking as the Abyssal Breaker's popped. So goes the Avalanche as well. It looks like Sun are in a little bit of trouble here. They're chilling for 9. It's already been popped now, but Kazamo super low on HP. They're getting absolutely peppered left, right, and center. It's looking like, oh no. But Sunchi's actually gets one reset at the last second, killing Trepper. But, you know, we know that there's barely any res opportunities. There might be one maybe on the top right-hand side, not too far away. But I think they may want to chase this one. I'm wondering if they're just going to go for XP instead.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to offer that somehow. Sunchi's lives out of that. Going to put a fan down, grab a crown, working miracles for the side of Sun this game. Speaking of miracles, it looks like iDrive is going to need one for a fish. Sees the full force of JP2 lurking at the shop right nearby. Oh, but maybe he's going to get the miracle as Hat shows up for the third party, pulls Bumps. Bumps instantly down. Can Hat finish off our #1 squad here in JP2? Kuleg dashing out over Abyss. Milk Honey, considering following, is going to come back onto the side of Valetti, try to finish off the Saros. Valetti peels, but going to run right into MTV. And it looks like Bub's going to get wisp res by Kuleg if they don't stop this.
Oh, the last second they get it. But the Abyss comes up from Breves. Every time MTV just coming out, getting mega damage. Already taking down Milk-Honey, and now this Abyss Fishness is going to be on the floor, so there's going to be an extra nice picking. We see Apex get a nice little kill. JP2 surprisingly outed pretty much early in the game. There's only 6 squads left now. Apex are also in a little bit of trouble as MTV just keeps applying pressure. Whatever, you know, any team they see, it's like they've picked up the JP2 virus, as I was mentioned before, you know, with yesterday with the NA virus. It's another reiteration
That
happening
made
here.
me laugh out loud when I was watching.
23 seconds left for this crowd though for Sunchi's. Oh man.
Dude, yeah, this is like a wild sequence. So our #1 squad on the scoreboard at the halfway mark is going to go out of 7. Oh, nice downtown spike. So many beautiful kills straight at Sunchi's. 8 seconds on the crown, battling Ranter for this res. So ballsy here for Sunchi's. Connected this final kill, but no way, the railgun from Hat to the south, or from the third-party squad actually going to finish off, but Hat gets the kills, gets the crown proc. What is happening, Samiri?
Dude, that consistent, you know, that as you mentioned before, that kind of 1v1-esque kind of fight, especially in the Abyss. It's almost like something like you see out of like a Dragon Ball Z finale, man. You just having that eternal face-off, consistently sending the comment hallways. There's LMBs, essentially. It's the same thing. We are seeing mega poke coming out the last second romance.
Dude.
Last legs. They got the Dreadstar, maybe got the primer. They dropped the Dreadstar, don't get any value, unfortunately. We already seen one member found dead. Boo are now running out of space rapidly. We are looking at Hat as well, just waiting to try and get some free kills potentially onto face.
Oh, no.
Already popped the bubble at the last second. She's got an extra bit of lifespan, but you see one spike coming out from NTV, absolutely capitalizing on everyone. They're feasting, man. It's a 10-piece bucket for those guys. Oh my god.
Bro, eating so good. They are going crazy here in game 4. And these two carries, Trep A on the Ghost, and as soon as we pan back, I forget the Saros name, but these two guys are popping off. Breves on the Oath, kind of holding the front line for them. There's so much damage coming out of MTV this game between the Saros and the Ghost, like some monstrous performance. Really, it's this is the kind of momentum, Samiri, where if you do actually want to catch up to JP2, that's exactly what they do. Nice chip forward, but getting it reversed with the singularity, catches 3. Can they finish these members off? It could be the doom of Hat after the super aggro dash forward. Just Ranger left answers back to the spike, but in the end, the final member of Fish finds the killing blow.
Dude, there's no way that singularity, you know, still got the connection afterwards. I was thinking the channel would be cancelled right at the end, but he somehow managed to get it off, then dies. His team is able to capitalize on it so heavily afterwards. Dude, this is such an insane game. But MTV, I think, are definitely the MVPs of this one so far. Unless something, you know, like, there could be a major upset that happens. We never know. Apex is still looking relatively healthy as well themselves. They've still got the good armor pickups. You know, Air Blast is still probably on the cards as well. I'm not really sure he has a Abyss Specialist at the moment. I don't know if the MTV actually picked it up. I think they did kill Milk Honey, but didn't pick it up. We do see Dowser with the Dragon Breath rounds, though, which is definitely going to be negating that armor as soon as the Saros R&B connects.
Yeah.
Oof.
That is scary. And Dodzer has been going really kind of strong on the Saros this game with Trepe on the Ghost right next to him with that Armor Shredder now in play. Going to be really scary for these last two squads. But Fish, after that beautiful Singularity play from LePiggy, who has had some really great pop-off moments so far over the course of the whole tournament, are going to be back to 3. They're going to loot all those gold armors away from Hat. Now they're going to run in MTV. Oh no, tragic iDrive getting kind of caught out of position going down early.
Yeah, we are seeing a couple of chunkers being placed to try and guarantee a bit of space whenever possible. MTV are trying to rotate around onto anyone with possible. Lizardo getting absolutely chunked by the Abyssal Breaker along with the follow-up from Trapper. Some napalms have been dropped by both teams. Rhapsody jumping down to the south side. Vipero already lost the ulti basically as well as Dowser tries to get an extra bit of poke onto Vipero if possible. The Spike Grenade has already been used by Trapper, not getting too much value. The Arcane Rogo does get the connection though. LMBs are centered in flurries and Vipero is found dead shortly afterwards. We're just left with Rhapsody. Picked up the crown, 1 minute 20. Hopefully she finds an escape.
Dude, MTV is just looking so strong, man. Like these engages from Breves on the Oath, just putting people into walls, letting Dudeser and Trepa follow up with this pump. And now they're all rocking. Oh, beautiful punch for some separation, though, from Gross, trying to find a little bit of space for themselves for the side of Fish. Trep A unrelenting with this ghost damage, dude. The laser's going crazy.
Dude, I think they've picked up like 18 kills or something along this line so far. And with 2 teams left, it could be a 20-kill game for sure. Rhapsody has managed to stack around a bunch of teams, but space is rapidly running out as the Abyss Breaker has already been popped. There's a nice little portal kidnap at the last seconds. Rhapsody is stuck in an even more of a troubling predicament. We are seeing a pad play, but there's not enough time to even jump onto it because MTV absolutely hunt this one down. Fish, the piggy, chilling in the bush, waiting for some sort of opportunity. Maybe there's a crown, maybe there's a shop, something. There's got to be something. I've got to hope. There's otherwise it's just one player left versus the world.
Yeah, and has like a pretty good angle with the way this storm is shifting. And I think MTV didn't have the intel that he was south, so they did make their way north. It looks like a little bit of scouting coming through for the side of Dudes are here, trying to take a peek if they can find the void. But we saw LePiggy eyeing that crown, looking to maybe find the finish. And it looks like they did find him out. So LePiggy shifting out has to work a crazy miracle here. Almost no way out if you're the void in this situation. So MTV close out a dominating game 4.
Dude, and from what we saw, I'm pretty sure it was doing like 1 or 2 kills max for JP2, and they went out like 7th, bro. So like the placement or total like kind of points they accrued for this game is not that many. And of course, who is it in the scenario? The other team that the team that got 18 kills. Who was that again? Sorry.
The one that just won, the MTV. Sorry.
Yeah, MTV. Sorry, I might just.
No, you're good. You're good. It happens,
bro. Like if they get like a couple more games like that, that's gonna be. They might be able to take first potentially.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's what I was like right before that crazy triple singularity that wiped Hat. That's like what I was trying to say is like if MTV can win this game and if they can chain another 2 of those together, that's the kind of performance you need to contest the points that JP2 has put up. And you need JP2 to be making mistakes or getting, unfortunate RNG off of third parties like we saw happen this game. And there was like everyone was kind of doing so good this game. Sunchi's for the side of Sun battling for their lives in so many situations. Sunchi's actually has had some really nice movement on the Celeste, able to make their way out of a couple tricky situations. But this was just such good SUPERVIVE to the north here, just absolute carnage.
Oh, dude. Yeah, this whole sequence is crazy as well. And as you're mentioning Sunchi's, I feel like it pulled up the most kind of
there's a railgun from the south here, bro.
Yeah, my god, dude. And the nuke drop afterwards, and then Hat with this kind of Abyss play against Boo, and then one pass to get spiked very shortly. There we go. Flakes already basically used everything in the chamber, nothing left. Oh man, they picked up so many kills. And then this one, dude, this one is so crazy, dude. Oh.
And it's funny because LePiggy gets the singularity out right as they go down, so they're just watching in whisk form as the homies clean up the crowd control there. But the story of this game is really about MTV. These guys were just constantly putting pressure out across the map on anyone they came across, and especially once we saw Dudeser lock in that armor shredder, and we see like multiple exotic perks online for these guys. Trepa just doing so much work on the Ghost as well, and both of them just such a good job engaging off of Breves. Breves like having some really nice spin dashes into Bright Shields to connect that early crowd control, set up those fights, and then these guys following up with that damage, leaving them at the end of this game level 15, fully evolved armor for all 3. Dominating game 4. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, that was insane. Just want to see if Courageous is here, dude. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I just want to give a big props to LePiggy, one of the only Void players, and he really knows the limits of his characters. Every time I see him, He gets out of sticky situations.
Yeah, man.
He has had some really good plays so far, and like I'm always extra impressed when I see that done on Void because he doesn't have a true dash. Like it's just a totally different game the Void is playing than every other hunter.
Sure.
So it's like extra impressive.
But we are heading into game 5. It's just going to be normal weather, and you know, we're hoping for some kind of repeated performances from MTV. Just 2 more games like that, they can maybe kind of knock off JP2. Maybe they even try and target focus them. They have that kind of really obscure comp, so if they kind of see it, they're going to kind of maybe know that it's JP2, unless they go with some sort of new strategy and, you know, change things up. But we are looking at Armors on Scav Bay straight off the bat. We've got, you know, I'm assuming it's going to be Apex dropping there. There's a team relatively close to them on Grind. There's about 3 teams dropping towards at least the Soul and Oracle immunity. And aside from that, things are looking on the up and up for at least a couple of teams now.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised about the lack of like gold armor contest. Like you mentioned at the beginning, it's normally just Apex dropping there, but especially the way, like how close this lobby has been, like Apex is certainly not definitively the best team. There's a bunch of other teams contesting that #1 spot. So I'm a little surprised to not see more teams kind of dropping consistently to contest, especially something like Scav Bay. It's a pretty spread out gold territory with the vault kind of separated. So you can actually have 2 teams drop there, get 5 gold armors out and never even cross each other's path. But in the end, it looks like it is just going to be Apex grabbing those for free.
Yeah, it seems like overall the kind of general broad stroke strategy macro-wise for EU seems to just be kind of not really taking too many aggressive contests. But as you mentioned, of course, you know, they should be really contesting for like high value objectives. But I think people don't kind of want to risk it all really early game, especially if their micro might not be like up to scratch potentially. Maybe they got better macro and they kind of want to play that game or go for mid-game kills. Maybe they have like a mid-power spike or something along those lines. There's all sorts of different reasons that a team might not want to kind of take those early fights. But yeah, you know, having those armors is such a big boon, you know, especially in the kind of current state of the game. Armor economy, you know, means everything, it feels like.
Yeah, it's so important, man. Like, yeah, it's a huge part of the game because, you know, you just think about the functionality of 20% damage reduction and that being on or off based on whether you have armor or not. And you know, the more you tier up your armor, the longer that stays on as you're getting damaged. It's just, and once that gets broken, you're taking 20% damage from all sources, right? So if someone breaks your armor, not only are they doing more damage to you, their whole team is doing more damage to you, then enemy teams are doing more damage to you. It's just like you said, it is like the quintessential thing you need to be paying attention to is how good is your armor? Is it repaired? Do you have repair packs in your pocket?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if they've changed this, but does the damage reduction change per color of armor, right? Isn't it 5% increase per color? So I don't know if it's...
I'm pretty sure... I thought that's how it used to be, but then it's just 20% across the board, and the tiered armor adds a bar. So every tier up in color adds an extra bar to the total amount you can mitigate, but I think all mitigate the same 20% reduction. That's been different at times. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is right now.
Okay, wicked stuff. You're seeing a nice little play at the last second from Velati. Tries to make it over, but is you know, converted into Wisp form midway. So unfortunately, there are just 2 members. We're looking at Lizoda taking down Flaxy at the same time as well. A lot of teams, you know, kind of converging on Hot kind of early here. FLF looking for a kind of early escape with that kind of back onto their bonfire. Hat looking to rotate wherever they see an enemy it might be, and they might meet Cam depending on it, but it looks like they're going for a bush play. Hat maybe looking to back or rotate around again. On the north side, we do see some potential action on Vein Grove. FLF looking to walk up very, very slowly. They're just trying to assess the situation. I think Rant has already shown himself pretty brazenly. We do see a Milk Honey also going down the south side. Tries a mega hook. Unfortunately, doesn't get the connection onto Sparta. I think Vunu's looking for that hook, though. So if Milk Honey is just caught up position for a split second, he is going to be toast.
Cam actually have a really good kind of bush angle to potentially third party this fight. It really is going to come down to if either Hat or FLF commit to this. I think if either of them do, both of those squads are going to be in trouble based off of this third party from Cam. But how long is Cam going to commit to this? They want to really consider how are they going to find camps in this next day turnover, because I mean, they might be comfortable kind of chilling here if they're willing to contest Hat for these nearby camps by Heart.
Yeah, 100%. We do see as well 3 teams now on Vein Grove, so I'm wondering if there's more action going to be brewing there. It looks like DDK and MTV in this scenario. Looks like MTV had to jump ship early. The armors aren't looking too healthy. They picked up 1 kill so far. They've got the Rose, Rampager, got some other goodies as well, so hopefully they can rotate out here, trying to get the early level 7. They've managed to find DDK. Now Zeph is looking for the hook, but I think he's trying to buy this time, trying to find the opportune moment. Of course, Breeze is going to be able to block that one unless he finds that really, really crazy angle. Maybe Lagwa can maybe make that happen. He tries an optimistic hook, doesn't find anything, unfortunately, as Trapper is on the high ground, you know, chilling between that bush now and again. And it looks like we are now in officially day 2. It looks like DDK, we have 1 member with level 7 already, and the EMP nade already catches 2 armors out. So that's a potential really big boon there as Lagra gets a nice little punch onto Breves. But I don't think anything else is going to happen. I think MTV probably needs to just jump ship now and really hunt for that XP.
Yeah, like right as Breves, it was a great nade, but right as Breves is doing that, like the Trepa actually peeled out to go for those day 2 camps. So a little bit of a mixed comms, but it looks like they are going to look for the re-engage. DDK doing a great job fighting it out. Blast off into the Bright Shield, though, going to be nice negate from Breves there to cancel that ulti on the side of DDK. DDK kind of peel back, looking for a health recovery. They are going to call off this fight and don't want to overcommit into this squad that was going like really kind of hard last game. And what I wanted to mention at the beginning, Samiri, is kind of that confidence factor. How much is that game, you know, going to affect MTV's confidence? Looks like it is a lot. Trepa finding an early kill there in the re-engage. Now Sparta looking for the recall, going to get canceled by the Tetra Fireball. Greed, I think our only Tetra that I've seen on the map so far, looking for this final kill.
Yeah, and I don't think if he's gonna Spot's gonna be able to escape this one. Maybe he's caused enough chaos. No, right at the last second, Greed does get the kill. Relatively close to Fish. We are seeing the 2-way as well coming out, and Loop is there with the reinforcements as along with Flaxy. Flaxy now on the voidable things. I don't think I've even seen this one before. This is some new revelations happening here for Game 5 in ViveEUCamp. Looks like Greed is trying to get some pokes in whenever possible onto Fish, but they're chilling kind of in the corner using the kind of bushes. They're TPing over the wall at the last second. They do have a level 8, so minor level advantage. The 2-way actually is popped, and Looper is found dead, so that's really going to be the changing tide here. Oh, Cam actually get the catch out as well onto iDrive. Uh-oh, things are spelling disaster now.
Dude, I love when people play the hard TP angle. So Fish, they get one, but they're trying to get their 3rd member back, playing off of this heart. Cam, after the bush play, working out for them, want to finish this fight. But it is Sun here for the 3rd party. Beautiful pinch, putting Cam in a really rough spot. Multiple health bars chunked out of the south. Ken Suncheese look for this finish with the napalm backup. They are able to take out Black Lem. Meanwhile, Cam Vunu finds Gross for the side of Fish. So kills traded across the board for all 3 teams.
And I wonder if we're going to see any more 2-way magic happen in this game as Kronos tries to send in a couple of LMBs into iDrive, but he's managing to circle around it as long as possible, trying to get the res off potentially onto Grosslon there. There goes the Shock Truck drone, but not acquiring too much value, unfortunately. We're seeing a lot of chaos brewing on the north side as well. The res is about to drop, and there we go. They're back as a full 3-man. And it looks like there might be a bit of a fight there between GG on the minimap. I do see Trepa also finding Greed at the same time. Avalanche has also dropped iDrive, finding Cosmo, Trepa, finding Looper. Grosslon Bears managed to kite around in the last second. Hopefully can escape, but Sun coming out on top, it feels like. Nice.
Dude, this is an insane battle between Fish and Sun, bro. Like, Cam just like made their way out of there. These guys continue to fight over this heart position. An insane air blast from the Shiv to find the kill into heart. LPN getting pinched here. It's MTV showing up from the south. Lamamo gets taken out by the railgun, trying to get the res, but canceled from Breves making his way up. Lagger and the rest of DDK, a bit low health, chipped armor, want to get a little bit of a reset before they re-enter with these other 2 squads battling to the south. Now, Euphoria, Trepa, Ghost, 1v1 battle. Trepa has the advantage here because he's got the Saros on his side backing him up with the long-range Sunfire rifle. It is going to result in Euphoria going down.
We do see LPN like Oath, maybe last 11, not too sure, is already separated from his team, so he's going to try and go over maybe for res, and then there is the Souls as well, kind of on the top and bottom left-hand side respectively. We are seeing the nuke being dropped. I don't think anyone's going to get caught up by that. We do see a Battlegun being dropped as well. 3 seconds left for Kaiser. Is going to get that crown off without issue.
Nice.
Apex are not too far away though, so maybe they heard this, maybe they're starting to like kind of investigate what's going on within this specific biome. You know, if they find a player, we know that they're typically going to start hunting for it. Similar to kind of JP2 strategy here, as we do seeing them, you know, force away Hat. Hopefully no one gets spiked here as Bobs goes in for the aggressive send-in, looking for that route. The hook unfortunately misses by Milk Honey. Kuleg's there, pops the napalm, unfortunately doesn't get too much value. Temporarily splits up the team. Cat Ice goes in with an aggressive send-in onto JP2. They've weathered the storm a little bit, taking a little bit of extra damage, but we are seeing the ulti being popped as well by Luna at the last second. And I think for now, the fight's been neutralized until round 2, but Bobs gets caught out now.
Dude, a crazy slam from Milk Honey. Knows this bunny plays 2 aggro. Bubs shipping it in, finds the dunk. But can JP2 continue the pressure? They want to push forward, it looks like. Nice damage coming out to try to back up. But a really nice read there from Hat, sending the Battle Bunny down into Abyss, giving them that tempo over JP2.
Yeah, they're trying to box res, even through the nuke. The last second they had to cancel it because Euphoria is getting the Orcam Rogan, of course. It's so much of a risk, and now they have to consider different res options, maybe even go for the train that's kind of still in on the map. We're also seeing a mega, basically max range hook, catching out Zephs at the last second.
Oh, wow.
You have to double shot, dash up to the north right, top right hand side. Hopefully he can make it out this one. The squid connects, but doesn't get actually any damage. Zephs manages to make it up there, unless iDrive goes in for a cheeky kill. I'm wondering if he's going to consider it. He's watching it like an observant CCTV camera, but he's not going for anything at the end.
Definitely thinking about it. Apex finding too on LPN to the south. It is just going to be Oath left, pod racing his way out of there. Got to be careful though, because Sun to the north at full force makes his way past the boat though, living for a moment longer here. FLF to the right, multiple squads continuing to kind of poke each other on this north side of the map. DDK trying to hold this lane. This whole time, iDrive still in bush. Finally found out by Zephs, except he's at full health this time, and the connection from Lagger and Reaper following up get the spike.
Yeah, and again, JP2 with only one kill again, similar to last game. So, you know, they've got to really start amping things up. It feels like they've lost the secret sauce, the secret recipe.
Yeah.
The hook comes in, the dunk comes in, maybe a nice little air blast at the last second has extended Bub's survivability, and there goes Kulek with the reinforcements along with Velati trying to get that poke in. It looks like they're forced away DDK just enough. You are seeing as well, at the same time, Apex, I think they're going for an aggressive chase. They finally found Panorome. But I think LPM are actually not fully outed yet, so they've still got, you know, more chances at survival. I think Panorama did get that res off, which is really, really nice to see.
Yeah, we did. We talked about the confidence for the side of MTV. You know, after winning the last game of Super High Tempo, you almost get the same effect the other direction for when you drop a game like JP2 did, where they're on such good tempo. Bubs shifting forward, looking for the res, but canceled again by MTV. MTV looking so dominant these last two games. This is the battle of confidence right here. It's the kind of team with the momentum versus the team that has seemed to have lost it a little bit. But JP2 has such a mega lead at halfway. Can they just survive enough to hold on to that? And I think MTV knows that. We see them very much committing to run these guys down. Got to be careful though. Boot this out. They do find it. Huge from Flakes. Connects the Nova Orb onto Trep. A little overextend there for MTV.
And that might have bought Velati just enough time along with Bubs to like look for some sort of opportunity for a res. Maybe the train's coming soon enough that they can actually get the stick onto it. I think it's already arriving now, so that window of opportunity might be gone. And the train is going to take a long, long while before it spawns again. So maybe they have to look for a crown or something else in this scenario, because things are looking a little bit short there. And it looks like MTV at the same time have picked up 8 kills. Vipero trying to get the chase on if possible. Black Lamb just behind him. The second window. Unfortunately doesn't get the connection from that nice little clean TP at the last second.
Yeah, it was
Apex
nice.
temporarily split his cam, going for an aggressive send it onto Rhapsody. Manages to survive for such a long time. Vipero gets a spike at the last second onto Kaiser, getting the kill. Second United doesn't get any pops, unfortunately. We're seeing, you know, basically Black Lamb being dashed around like a pinball, unfortunately found dead at the last second.
Yeah, unfortunate. So Vunu trying to just live here for Cam, but we were talking about confidence. Apex finding theirs as well. Ooh, railgun almost going wide. Actually, the grabby from Vunu insane there. Gonna get out of the railgun, but he's overheated. Samiri, can he even dash out of this? He has to recover a little bit of fuel here. Is gonna get what he needs. Finds a Vive Brew as well. Somehow Vunu is alive.
And I don't know if you saw that on the kill feed, but JP2 are actually outed as well shortly afterwards at our cam. So that's like one of the big teams again, super duper outed early.
Did you see that railgun though? I think he connected it on the vulnerable, just eliminated them right there.
Yeah.
And it was like a little bit delayed. I was like, wait, did that actually just kill?
Yeah.
Because it was so much health, and he does. So after a crazy escape from Vunu, the final blow from the railgun max range gets the squad wide. Holy.
We are seeing a big contest over the Red G at the moment. MTV actually going up for kind of a potential round 2. You know, Trepper wants revenge potentially as winning, you know, obviously, you know, sent all those LMBs in with that kind of minigun, absolutely pummeling MTV, but they managed to get the res. They're going for a pad play potentially now. The meteor base is still at half HP as Apex slowly whittled it down. The Rain of Arrows, the nuke has also been dropped now as well. So they're trying to get as much damage as possible, but of course, that last hit is going to seal the deal in terms of XP, but then of course, that Red G is going to be on the floor afterwards as Trepper tries to get a bit of damage in for an aggressive send-in. Actually, maybe potentially catches someone out as Vipero goes for aggressive sending on the south side, maybe being the sacrificial lamb.
Nice,
that's actually a very big surprise there at the last second.
Yeah, and it's going to leave just Lizardo left. So the member of Apex that just got that downtown snipe to finish off Vuru is going to be the lone member for Apex after MTV finds the kind of tempo on them. Now Lizardo grabbing crown, has a squad to the north, trying to just do everything he can to live here, but it's not going to be enough. Apex, despite a very strong performance at the start of Game 5, eliminated at 9th.
Yep, and we do see like a kind of penthouse suite slowly being developed here. I'm wondering if Hat can do a little bit more, or DDK trying to get the kill, trying to get the poke if possible. Milk Honey already on half HP. They've gone down to the ship for the moment. The circle's still going to be favouring them, it looks like, in this scenario. They've only picked up 3 kills. Looking at FLF, I think there might just be a 2-man Jerv trying to get the poke against Reaper, kind of an equivalent exchange with these Arcane Railguns and RMBs from Saros respectively. We're looking at the Orb of Revival in around 5 seconds. So this Hat get a nice free picking onto Gross Lambert.
Yeah, so Grosslumbear goes down on that Bishop. They're going to take out the Chonker as well, throw some trees down, grow a little money. In the meantime, fight breaking out to the north. It's LPN and Sun looking at each other. Napalm's traded on both sides, a little bit of zoning. But look at this level advantage for Sun. Have 4-5 levels up with a little bit of an armor advantage. Maybe look for a re-engage there. Meanwhile, to the south, it's Boo and MTV posturing as well. Just trading some Saros poke on both sides.
Yep, I don't think anything else is going to happen for the moment. I think teams are kind of slowly venturing, actually, kind of prematurely into that early, you know, kind of macro-focused kind of game mode, unless MTV decide for an aggressive send on LPN. Euphoria is tempting fate here, it feels like, especially being underleveled, as you were just mentioning. Spike Grenade connects, but doesn't really, you know, kind of temporarily forces MTV to just halt their progress. But Breves is continuing the aggression. There goes the Bristle Breaker, dashes up to the north side. We do see Sun there waiting as well on the left-hand side. Trepper finding Euphoria very, very quickly. It might be Lamamo straight afterwards. LPN getting absolutely chunked, but MTV, any color, there's just no bias. It feels like they're just absolutely sending it in. Lagra, the punch doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Getting absolutely chunked. Another kill picked up. Breeze again with the reinforcements. We've seen that combo a million times before. Reaper then straight afterwards down to getting the kill credit, and surprisingly afterwards it's just Zeph's last alive, and Boo are looking for that free pickings. Hopefully they can get it. That might be an extra free kill point there.
Yeah, so Zeph's trying to keep DDK in it. MTV on a roll. Boo want to find this kill point, like you mentioned, shifting forward. Nice air blast. Answered back from Zeph's, keeping a little bit of space here. Looks like does have that thermal suit jump pad down in the lava. Nice sidestep on the ulti from the Hudson there. Exactly what he needed to do to live. Gonna maybe have the space to do this beacon, but Hat lurking right nearby.
Yep, and just in the kill feed, we do see FLF also outed. So now we're just left with 6 teams. Zone pulling to the top right-hand side. Orb of Revival not being touched. That Abyssal Hatchling. We are looking at Hat just temporarily split for the moment with their bonfire. Milk Honey trying an optimistic hook against MTV. They go for a portal down to the south side, looking for an aggressive send. It looks like Zeph's was actually trying to rebuild the res, but unfortunately got knocked away by a Cat Heist. Kind of griefing it in this situation. And now that res opportunity is no longer going to be viable unless MTV decide to rotate again and just look for some other sort of team to feast on. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, and I know it would have been really hard to get that off even if he got the repair through, with MTV lurking so close by and playing like kind of so high tempo. Nice bungee from Suncheese looking to pull Grosslumbar back for the side of Fish. Lapiggy lurking in bush as Void does, looking for that big crowd control opportunity as Boo and Sun continue to look for each other. Looks like thermal suits in play for all members of Boo as well. Lapiggy is going to back out of this bush with the team retreating to the south, going to look for a better angle.
Yep, and it looks like there's going to be a late rotate from Fish, but we know that basically all teams are kind of covering a lot of the left-hand side of this new circle, especially on the bottom-hand side. So I'm wondering how Fish are going to find entry into it. That's going to be the kind of defining decision if they actually make it through or survive this next circle at the very least. As Milk Honey tries to go for the hook, but Breves has successfully seen that one coming, of course. We do see iDrive as well on the top left-hand side. Fish slowly wandering in. They may be looking for a potential aggressive anomaly play. I do see the kind of vision there for Lapiggy if he decides to go for it. Of course, they have the TP, of course, across or around this kind of structure as well, which provides with another entrance field. A spike as well. In this scenario, DDK are outed. We are just left with 5 teams. Big catch out.
Abyssal Breaker for Breves, putting big kind of separation into Fish. They are scattered to the wind, just looking to survive. Lapiggy probably going to be able to do that. But meanwhile, it's Hat here with the third party. Are they going to be able to wipe? MTV could be huge for them to slow down this MTV momentum. It looks like they are able to trade one back, though. So Hat has to sit tight, recover that Wisp for themselves. It gives MTV the room to find their way north through the storm, get that reset. Big double tap from Dudeser here. Huge damage pressure and armor chunks broken into Boo.
Yep, and it looks like the armor just kept getting put. Oh my god, that super Arcane Railgun play was super duper surgical. Grosslumber on 1 HP, trying to get those enemies as long as possible. The Ranta kind of sent him in the zone just somehow with some line control, getting another kill onto the Piggy. Fish are in dire straits now as Winning sends in those LMBs onto Kazamo and Suncheese respectively. Suncheese is found dead. Winning just mows everyone down, man. It was super duper crazy play from the Hudson, but the fight doesn't seem to be stopping. Milk Honey's trying to go for a hook. Unfortunately, doesn't get the connection. MTV also did a little bit of a skirt round. They repaired a couple of armors, but we do see Fish, iDrive, last alive, chilling in that bush.
Dude, and Ranter just had the perfect spot on that little dot island, just taking everything that came his way as multiple squads got pinched there. Really nice kind of movement from Boo, though, to force the kind of issue down from the north there, push them right into the arms of Hat across the abyss. Gonna result in another squad going out. iDrive gonna make a move for the crown. Instantly deleted from MTV so quick. Breeze almost getting dunked, finds the mantle at the very last second. They trade back a spike. MTV looking almost unstoppable here after a crazy game 4. Can they secure this finish with another really high kill point game? Like, if they can do this, Samiri, the storyline is real. If they can repeat another performance for game 6, I think there's a very real chance they can contest JP2.
I mean, anything can happen, man. Maybe something's just, you know, made their confidence falter for JP2 and they've just not found the source anymore. That might be what it is. You know, you never know what's going on in these players' heads. Maybe we can get some interviews afterwards. Maybe Courage is going to do that afterwards. But, you know, we are looking at Boo as well, being forced away just temporarily. Flakes is getting healed up at the last second. Boo managed to maintain armors amidst all of the chaos. Same with MTV now, looking super duper strong, as you were mentioning. Looking at the kills, 21 kills already for MTV.
My goodness,
this is looking like another monster game. We're seeing an aggressive send in there, goes the Abyssal Breaker. Crazy, clean follow-up from by Dowser. Flakes has already popped the ball now, already found dead pretty much instantly. Trepper can send in a couple of enemies, trying to get a spike with an arc and railgun. And where's the rotation actually? There we go. By Hats. I was wondering where they went there. I thought they were going to chill on the bottom left-hand side, but they actually tried to go for a little bit of a grief onto MTV. But now MTV do have dominion over the new circle, and now it's up to Hat to try and find some way in.
Yeah, I think it might be just like a little nervous to overcommit there, only being at 2 members, trying to find teams like Weekend and an opportunity. But now with Boo down a member after that MTV engage, it's MTV really controlling things here as if they weren't already. Look at this. They're building a new penthouse, this time with cat balls rolling around.
We also, I'm just wondering as well, I'd love to know how much a Econ Hat have, because I feel like they should have enough surely to have like a res or a crown pickup or something along those lines. But you know, even when they had control of the bond, they didn't even do it. So I'm assuming they're also, you know, not doing financially well, which is making things also you know, really difficult for them to kind of make a nice clean play and, you know, do something to get their third member back. But they are going for a pad play down to the south side, looking for Boo. They get the hook, go for the dunk, trying to get a bit of damage, and there goes the Vortex Charm on top. And MTV did see a clean opening once that kind of third party happening. It's going to be super duper clean. Milk Honey trying to last as long as possible, but Breeze picks up 2 kills. A nice clean snipe by Dowser. MTV are going to be leaving this game with what, like 25 kills or something. This is ridiculous.
Dude, and MTV love that sequence so much. Like, that's like exactly what they wanted to happen. Rat just decide to send it in the 2v2, and I think from their angle, you know, they want to force them out, get second, but you know, MTV being the only squad at full force there, very easily able to just follow up with the third party, collapse onto both of those squads. So in the end, I think with those last couple of kills, Samir, it's going to be like 24, 25 kill point with another first. So back to back insane performances from MTV.
Yep, and just like the Chonka Cannon, they're just going to keep snowballing, you know what I mean? It's just going to be that ball that just keeps getting more and more value as they keep, you know, just getting more and more pressure, just applying pressure in every direction and succeeding every single time, just like how JP2 were doing. They're just taking a page out of their book and they're just managing to kind of mimic that success that JP2 had in the first couple of games, and now they're just absolutely dominating. It feels like I'm expecting the same sort of thing to happen for Game 6, as we're, you know, shortly going to see. You know, we're just looking at a couple of replays, of course. You know, so many insane moments, you know, with nothing else to expect from Tier 2. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's been so hype. Courageous. Like, what? So we were not expecting the JP2 at halftime. Now, were you expecting this crazy comeback from MTV here?
No, this is insane to see. And I love to see it because I was watching the games and I was looking at the positioning of MTV, how they were playing so safe, so nice. And I can definitely say the coaching has paid off for them, because they were definitely not doing that at the start of this ViveEUCamp.
That's awesome. That's like so cool just to see the evolution of these players, like over the kind of 2 months you've been running this. Like, has to be one of the most rewarding things, like, of even doing the whole tournament, right? You just get to see the progression of all these guys, and you know, you being a big part of enabling that, bro. It's actually so cool.
Yeah, and I love it because I also talked to MTV right before this tournament started. I did a little bit of an interview with them. They were one of the first teams that were actually created. Day one, they got their team, they started playing, they got so many scrims in. The moment they got their coach, they got so many coaching sessions, and it's definitely paying out for them.
Let's go. That's so cool to hear. I would love to see them kind of make a crazy comeback and vie for that first place spot. So it's really going to be a lot up to JP2 on how game 6 goes for them, because we saw an absolute massacre from them off the back of this Bubs Battle Bunny for the first 3 games. And like in the second half, very much has been slowed down. MTV kind of taking the place of the big shark in the lobby, finding all these fish, grabbing so many kills along the way to that first spot finish.
Yeah, dude, it was super duper nice to see this kind of evolution, especially of all the teams. They've all kind of mechanically progressed in one way or another. You know, they've gone through various different comps, had to switch strategies, you know, kind of learn each other's ins and outs, where their weak points and strong points lie. You know, and as the kind of coaches have reinforced and found these kind of weak points and kind of reinforced them, you just see, you know, such a big natural kind of progression of these players amongst these 7 weeks that I've been witnessing at the very least. You know, you guys are just seeing the result of it now, and you know, the kind of final rose, but I just saw all the initial seedlings, you know, and it's been beautiful to see the growth of the players.
Dude, that is such a great growth analogy there. And it's like one of the coolest things about having been like around the SUPERVIVE scene for a while is I've, you know, kind of got to witness this for most of the players besides the one that were like very early in testing like I was. And even them, like, you know, someone like Lemur, like I've been watching Lemur play for, I don't know, like over like 3 years now.
Yeah.
And it's just like to see, he was always good, right? But just to see like how much you can actually scale at this game with how kind of deep it is over the sequence of some span of time. And, you know, how much of that, there was no coaching. Like, you know, these players at the beginning were forging the path. They were kind of figuring it all out. But now that there is a lot of established players that have put in that level of time, that level of like depth and mastery on even like especially like certain hunters, being able to relay that knowledge, you now get this accelerated progression curve where over the course of just 2 months, you get to witness these players, you know, maybe collapsing years of time into this like heightened progression curve. And it's just so cool to see. What in the heck is this scoreboard, bro? No freaking way. MTV already ahead.
Dude, what? I mean, we kind of,
so
you know,
much
we kind of
closer.
just guessed this, just looking at the points, you know, from the previous 2 games. But dude, like, it's 8 points lead now. This is basically down to that last game, Courageous. You know, what are your thoughts on this?
Wow, I am actually stunned to see how much closer it is here. 124, 116, and 88 is actually not that far away. One good game, and you can take that first spot.
Yeah, it's so close. Like, especially this battle for first now between MTV and JP2. It kind of has been the story of the day here. And it's going to give us like just an immaculate like story for game 6 to keep us on the edge of our seats. And, you know, Hat, our kind of third team that's had these moments of hyper aggression, looking very strong. You mentioned not fully out of contention. If MTV and JP2 make a mistake, drop this game 6 in a big way, and Hat mirrors that MTV performance the last 2 with a big first place, big kill game, they certainly can close this gap. And Apex, you know, you guys called out at the beginning as one of these pretty dominant squads. A little bit of a slow start for them, but starting to find their stride as well. Looking for a higher podium placement, just 16 points behind Hat.
Yeah, I'm wondering if what's going to happen there, like if there's going to be a crazy, you know, even further upset, you know, if Hat just have an absolute monstrous game, MTV get outed like instantly. You know, we've already witnessed like so much craziness happening over the span of 5 games already, and you know, one game more is just going to be another, you know, unpredictable absolute ball of chaosness. You know, I don't know, inventing words, it feels like.
Ball of chaosness. All right, this is the perfect time for one of my least favorite things personally, but one really exciting thing to do. We're gonna do predictions, boys.
Ooh, go on
so
then.
Courageous, based on everything you've seen being part of this tournament for this whole time, who do you think comes out on top here?
I really have to say MTV. I really like those people. Talking to them, they've been playing since the beginning. I am rooting for them. I am not gonna lie.
Let's go. Okay, so MTV for Courageous. How about you, Samiri?
Yeah, it's gotta be MTV, dude. Like how much of a progression and ascent that they've had, of course, over the span of these 2 to 3 games. They just went absolutely insane mode, just consistently after JP2 just made the scoreboards just look completely like that there's an absolute clear cutoff point. That's not happening anymore. Oh my god.
Dude, it's actually like I thought that MTV was gonna like close the gap, but there was still gonna be some significant difference between them and Jay. But the fact that they're 8 points ahead just goes to show actually how many kills they got through in that game, 4 and 5. And so we're just getting a quick update to the players to be able to see those scores before we dive into game 6. But just to mix things up here, I think I love the storyline of MTV. I think it would be so epic if they won. But I'm like, for the sake of chaos and mixing things up, both JP2 and Hat have been so exciting to watch. And if either of them can come out swinging here in game 6 and kind of upset the storyline and just have a monster performance off of this super aggro, and like a couple players have kind of won my heart. Bubs on the Battle Bunny, and then for the side of dude, there's sorry, my brain just blanked. Give me Bubs's team name. I just had like Bubs, a full space. JP2, thank you. Yeah. Has really like kind of won my heart. And then Milk Honey for Kingpin for Hat. These two players, the way, like the amount they've like play forward for their teams, and the fact that both those teams are in 2nd and 3rd, like, if either of them do something crazy, I think we're going to get just an absolutely epic game 6 and an epic finish to what has been, such a cool event for the SUPERVIVE community over the last couple, like 7 weeks. So it's actually been, I think probably the longest, now that I'm thinking about it, I think the longest consistent SUPERVIVE event / tournament that we've seen.
Yeah, man, it's been super nice to have that coverage, or well, me providing it, and yourself as well, and Magical providing coverage, and Minata, if I'm not mistaken. So many people, have had a glance, been able to cast, which has been beautiful for the scene, of course. And just harkening back, I'm just thinking back like to how all these players started. I think like we already saw a couple of gems. I remember, like, for example, Milk Honey, the first scrims I casted, he was already popping off on the KP. It's already like he'd been coached by like some of the greats that we've seen in the past from EU. Of course, there's so many to mention with the KPs. It's kind of just some sort of inherent genetic available for the majority of EU players. It's just somehow seeded down into them. I don't know what's going on.
so many.
It's so funny, and it's like so true. And like you could just tell like someone even like kind of new on the Kingpin, the way they're kind of moving around. You're like, this guy's gonna be a Kingpin main. Like it's in the blood.
Dude, it's so true.
But yeah, Milk Honey, like really, and like seemed like getting a lot of value like out of that wildfire drive, like almost always kind of shifting forward on top of people, getting that kind of like AoE burn through, like creating a little bit of like zone separation off the back of the Kingpin. But yeah, I think like it's just, we're setting ourselves up for such an exciting finish to what has been such kind of like a like really just what's the best word, like fantastic, terrific, brilliant tournament series for the competitive scene, because we had a similar thing to this happen in North America right at the start of 1.0. Shout out to Luna and Moonlit Battlegrounds Training Grounds, had sort of an initial iteration of this idea in the North America scene, and Courageous looked at that and saw kind of how cool that was, decided to make his own version for Europe and extend it out a little bit more rolling into season 2. And it's been just such an awesome thing for the scene and the community.
Such a blast.
Yeah, exactly. It's been great to see. But game 6 is going to seal the deal, at least for like season 1 of ViveEUCamp. So we are now underway with match 6. Almost on gridlock. This is going to be that deciding factor. I can't wait to use it. Let's go, man.
I actually just got goosebumps loading in here. This is what SUPERVIVE is all about, baby. We have no clue what's about to happen in this final match. What we do know, gold armors in gridlock, Soul of the Hunt to the north. We see 2 teams hot dropping into those gold armors. Gridlock, always a heavy contest.
Yep, and it looks like a nice little convenient armor pickup to start things off by Vipero. So they're going to have to try and rotate him around. They've not been so lucky so far, but they are going to be able to get level 2 at least off this camp. But Apex are already rotating around to a couple more camps. They've already picked up another armor as well. They've picked up a little bit of money as well. Some rotate kind of upwards to this kind of small kind of little structure Hopefully can pick up a couple of armors, but if things go a bit sour, they can always rotate up to Academy. Unless Apex wants to go for the chase, it looks like Rhapsody's trying to apply a little bit of poke LMBs onto Suncheese. Suncheese is already at about half HP, but is able to get healed up if possible. Narrowly able to get hit by that red barrel, and we do see a very aggressive sending by Rhapsody, trying to get the poke or the finish in, but the heals are actually kind of negating all of the damage that's coming in from Rhapsody, and they're turning it around, and even amidst the kind of armor difference, crazy stuff.
Yeah, Sun just doing a great job playing off of Sunchee's concoction there. Everyone just kind of hanging out in the mist. They're able to easily trade that damage back with that healing online. Vipero was not there to kind of sustain. So despite getting 3 gold armors, it's going to be Sun that find a kill, steal one of those away, sending Apex packing with just 2.
Yeah, really, really nice things. This is a kind of energetic way to start off game 6. It looks like on the top right side we do see Boo as well. So then maybe there's some sort of kind of newfound strategy that they're starting to establish consistently with going to Academy, trying to get the books. We're looking at the Circle pulling up to the north-hand side as well. We're seeing GG as well farming up. I think there's another team that's not too far away from them as well. They're just trying to farm for an extra couple of mob camps or maybe get any extra goodies, as we do see them trying to stop the rest. But they can't do it in time, unfortunately. They don't even get any damage onto this auto, which is surprising. We just see a max 3 triple loop. If he hit that, would have been crazy. But GG are trying to really, really force them out. It's actually surprising. I think just because they're under-leveled, I think they just want to jump ship until they've kind of stabilized.
Yeah, 100%. So they ride their way out. They do get a little more XP online, able to fight now with the 5s, maybe against the 6s with a bit of armor. Lizardo trying to trade, Rhapsody looking as well. Looper shifting forward, going to go for the grab, is going to be a little wide as Rhapsody trades a shift as well. Now they think they have Lizardo isolated. Nice sidestep on the nade connect there. Looper trying to follow up over the top. All of a sudden, Looper isolated with that explosion. Can Ghost trade back here? Looper under pressure now. The rest of Apex in the 2v2 to the right. Got to be careful. JP2 here. Can they start the momentum they need to go for this first place finish? Rhapsody getting caught. Oh, trades back, gets the health reset, finds Looper. Flaxy really needs this final hit. Is going to call it off somehow. Rhapsody lives.
And of course, Myth has that ever sneaky escape going through the terrain at the last second. That's just kind of what you need in that scenario. Any other character would not be able to get such a nice clean escape as we see JP2 with an aggressive send in. The root unfortunately misses onto Greed, and the hook connects though. Low on HP, the dunk unfortunately misses. Looper now has caught himself actually a lot of trouble, a lot of grief, finding himself dead basically to the arcane railgun caused by his own hook.
It does give GGG a bit of space to play north. They are going to grab the Sky Shark, find some space for Rez, maybe play for this train. We are on Bullet Train's repeat for game 6. Let's go. So JP2, all eyes on this team, all eyes on Hat, all eyes on MTV. These are our 3 squads battling for that kind of first place finish. And, still a lot of places to be played for under them on the podium. But JP2 starting it off kind of like they need to, Samiri. 2-3 kills in the bag.
Let's hope so. We are looking at as well Reaper. This is one thing I actually forgot about, midway through ViveEUCamp, or maybe through the majority of it. I remember he was playing a lot of Bebo. Now he's actually taking it for game 6 right at the end. Trepper taking down Greed at the last second. Flaxy on 1 HP. Doesn't die yet. Surprisingly to the Arcane Railgun. It's just run out of fuel there. The Sky Shark gets the explosion. Looper now lost the life for GG. The spike comes out by Breves. And there we go. MTV have already picked up a nice couple of kills. GG are the first team outed.
Yeah, and so it's actually the kills, the kind of pressure that J2P put out on them is going to be capitalized by MTV, the team they don't want to get the kills, but nice opportunity from MTV. Hat doing the same across the map. So all 3 of the squads we're looking at here, turning it on in game 6, pretty much accumulating all the kills so far. Oh. Can they find this final onto Lamamo? Milk Honey so clean with that Kingpin movement, a natural, like you mentioned, almost going to be nowhere for Lamamo to go on the Jewel. Hat find 2.
Yeah, and it looks like a nice little train rotation escape with the revive, and they should be back without issue, of course. They've lost a little bit of economy, but they can hopefully get it back. There's still a lot of time. Sun managed to maintain the armors as well, as we saw kind of in the early game. They got all of them picked up, but they just need to look for some resets whenever possible. On the top right-hand side, and Dawncaps, we do see a potential catch-out here. Backfish in a little bit of a troubling situation. Boo looking for an aggressive chase when possible, but they're not able to catch Lepiggy. He's temporarily split from the team, but he's going to be able to get back in without issue. We're looking at the Souls spawning in not too long as well, which should be a nice little boon for any team that's close by to it. It looks like Apex are trying to fight for those level 7s, which they've just gotten now. So that's going to be another boon for Apex in this scenario. Only picked up 1 kill. And again, the Souls are double spawned on Vanegrove. So that's going to be, kind of that gravitational pull we typically see happening again for game 6.
Yeah, and Vanegrove's such an interesting spot, not really having real... there's some bulls and screamers around, but not real kind of creep camps there during the day. But then high value ghosts at night. And then when you get an objective and even 2 objectives now landing there, it's like it can be like a very contentious spot. We often see a lot of fighting in Vane Grove. So Apex now, after barely wide on the grab there from Zeph's, DDK fishing through the wall. But Apex doing a nice job kind of finding those levels on the day 2 turnover here. FLF looking to do the same up north of Coils here, looking for a grab from Marionette, but is going to be sidestepped by DDK.
Yep, and you've been seeing the kill feed as well. Breeves getting another kill onto Panorome as well. So LPM did get the res and then died. Then Cam also taking 2 kills, if I'm not mistaken. They've killed iDrive twice. I think even through the res, they got another kill. At the same time, we're looking at, you know, FLF also forcing out DDK completely here. They're going over to Vane Grove, you know, as we were just mentioning, potentially a high contest area with all the goodies that are available. As you mentioned, the Ghost, all the Souls, the XP. There's so many things that can be picked up as Bubs. Unfortunately, gets scuffed at the last second trying to go over the wall. That would be so nice to see a root coming in
Buzz
afterwards.
kill, dude.
Yeah, if he made it, dude. Oh, man.
The wall just shutting him down there, but not slowed him down too much. Sees that this buy is coming through for Apex. JP2 really need to find a successful fight here to continue this momentum. They have to close this 8-point gap against MDV. Bubs finds it, root connect into the nade, but a nice defensive nade return, ping-ponged back and forth. I have no idea how Lizardo is alive after that. Maybe going to continue living after the second win. Can they trade back? Kulak under pressure. He finds it, gets one. Can he get the whisk play? The insane exit for JP2. Bubs going crazy on the recovery. What was that?
Bro, like, you don't ever see those kind of exits in, like, I don't know, James Bond or something. You know, he's in the car, and he's like he somehow found like a massive ramp to just get his car, send it across like 5 different yachts.
I think Velati too with the portal, dude. Like the teamwork there was just like beautiful from JP2 to extract themselves. I actually have dyslexia on this name, dude. I think I've said it the opposite way at least like half the time.
No worries, man, no worries. We are getting poked a little bit as well, as the Abyss Hatchlings is around half HP. New Day has arrived, of course, so there's going to be mobs to farm up for all of these teams. MTV with level 10, they've already picked up one of the souls, if I'm not mistaken, as Kaiser on the top side. The hook unfortunately misses at the last second. We are looking at Zeph's trying to get another hook in when it's off cooldown. And at the same time, it gets the max range with the dash as well. Reaper on super HP. Zeph's tries to return the damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Crazy work there. And I think they're trying to seal the deal on the last member. A couple of LMBs will seal the deal. And Cam have taken out DK. Holy.
That was insane from Cam. That fadeaway predict on the hook momentum, able to clean up, and then they're able to finish. Meanwhile, APX wanting to finish to the South Hat under some pressure themselves. FLF getting wiped somewhere else on the map. Holy Samiri, we have the Game 6 chaos commencing.
And we've just seen the kill feed as well. Bub's going to kill onto Vunu, so that's another couple of kills for them. You know, it's looking, I feel like it's kind of relatively close in terms of kills between those two teams. Vipero has to pop the second win at the last second. Apex come from behind. They're trying to get any free pickings if possible. The Abyssal Breaker's already been popped by Panorama to try and guarantee a bit of space, and you know, it's going to be a definitive like, kind of 3v2, but of course Cobra is not too far away. That's likely going to be the next decision in terms of positioning for Apex. Trying to get the res back for the third man again, as we do see JP2 just kind of wandering, having a little dance around Sun. And again, they've still managed to maintain the armors, which is still really good to see. Sometimes they lose a member, but this time they've managed to maintain all three as they continue to have a little dance against JP2, looking for the root. Unfortunately, not finding the connection. There goes Kazmo with the aggressive send-in, trying to get a couple more LMBs, and Kulag actually becoming the loser in this situation. There goes the ulti. Sunchi's trying to get mega damage with that Kamehameha way. He's doing so much damage. The wings are also popped. Velati has to spot at the last second, trying to get out of town if possible. Even tries them back, but there's no way Sun are going to permit this.
Dude, Sunchi's popping off on the Mercury, having some good Celeste games, but the Mercury's been looking extra clean. JP2 actually barely able to make it out under that gate with a bit of feathering, so they are able to recover. Apex getting wiped by Hat across the map as well. So despite a kind of monster season for Apex, they are going to make a bit of an early exit in Game 6. JP2 looking to continue their momentum, facing off against Boo here. What in the world just happened, bro?
And I don't know if the Wisp can make it across the ledge. It feels like something you'd see from like a Disney movie. I don't know why. It just reminds me of that. I don't think that Wisp is going to make it across the bridge. You're looking at Boo as the definitive two members. They've got some sort of res, hopefully, not too far away. They're trying to get some heals in as well if possible. We're looking at Dreadstorm around 50 seconds as we flick over to LPN, back as a full 3-man again. They've picked up the armors. They've got the Chunker set up as well. Sun are also establishing base, it seems like, on the south side. So they're going to have open opportunities again in Vane Grove. We do see MTV just camping in the bush as well, waiting for anyone to kind of come down. We do see Fish as well, and then full north side. Bubs also killing Romance at the last second as well. We do see a nice little pickup on the kill feed. So JP2 already at 7 kills. LPN with only 2.
I was about to say, yeah, some nice kills in hand, doing at least the beginning of what they need to do. But MTV stacking them as well. Dudes are finding another one. It's going to be Fish under big pressure here. iDrive trying to find their way out on the Shiv. It looks like they are going to be able to, and they still have Gross Lambert available on the Bishop, but Lepiggy is down on the Void. So going to have to find a creative res angle here. Maybe iDrive can play for Cobas, but it is nighttime. Hat is here. Milk Honey shifting forward, looking for the slam. Railgun connects, but iDrive continues to live.
Yeah, but we are looking at kind of heavy contest. Nukes being dropped. The red chest or the red kind of pickup has been found as well by MTV in this scenario. We're seeing a pad play potentially by Hat. They're considering it, and I think MTV have kind of mirrored this situation. They just want to jump out of town. They do not want to get third-party. Milk Honey potentially looking for a hook again. I'm not sure if he's going to find it this time. He's circling around a couple of different opponents, but MTV is still finding like kind of new free space down the south side as Bubs. Let's get the root connection, but only onto one man. The hook doesn't connect, unfortunately. The spike grenade does, however, onto Bubs, taking a mega amount of damage at the last second. And I think JP2 probably now have to jump shit.
Yeah, and the train's so close to connecting. If that ruined JP2's dreams here, would have been an absolute tragedy. So here we go. MTV spot JP2. Ooh. Hat is here as well. Ooh. Our contenders for the top 3 battling out. Nice engage from Hat. Can they finish off JP2? The Moss Immunity trade to the north. Can Trepe do it? The Ghost v Ghost. Trepe wins. The Moss Immunity comes out on top. Can he kill Cat? He does. The Hat engage. Turn completely around. Almost nowhere to go for Milk Honey as the bullet train cruises by. MTV, do they want to commit to the chase? They don't, because JP2 is here.
Oh, and they just get the root plus the nice little Saros pokes the sniper, the hitman 47. He's getting all the snipes in that he could ever want. Trepper on super low HP now. Bubs taking so much damage at the last second. Might have bought them just enough time to get kind of clean escape here. Arkamoga not connecting to get a clean spike. But we are seeing Dowser temporarily split from the team. Might be free pickings actually for JP2. So we do see Winning actually getting a nice kill to Gross Lambert at the last second. Ooh. Fish are in probably dire straits here. Nice fighting in the zone at the last second. Velati getting healed up by Bubs at the last second. But Boo looking for potential free pickings. A fight in the zone that Kuleg has actually won. Killing Flakes as well, shooting from behind, doing so much damage, dashing into zone at the last second. Hopefully they can make it out of this one.
Dude, this is such a crazy sequence. It's actually inches from going either way here. JP2 playing right on the line. Boo, as they make their way in for the third party. It's now Bubs running down. Winning is for losers on the Huddy. They're through the wind tunnel. Can JP2 find the double dash? He's already hit a huge reverse spike and answered back by Fish. So both those guys go down. Meanwhile, MTV from Trep finds a kill. Fighting commencing to the north. All of a sudden, Kuleg, last member left for JP2. If MTV finds this kill, they are surely going to lock in first for this tournament. Kuleg, massive napalm, gets the Omnidam through, somehow lives for a moment longer. Nade out, but goes barely wide, a little early on the timing. Can this railgun connect? Barely wide. Somehow Kuleg's still alive.
Do they know? Do they know? I feel like they know. They're just chasing it. They must know the comp. I swear, they know. We just seen Trepper just sending it, and Trepper actually gets the kill in the last second. As you mentioned, they're out in 4 teams left, but Trepper actually pays his life for it now because Sun and LPN were just there waiting with open arms, and they hug him. They give him the warm embrace of death.
Dude, and Trepa doesn't care about his Masamune, bro. He wants that first place. He's like, I am running this ghost down to the ends of the earth. Able to do it. Fighting, not slowing down, though. It's Hat versus Sun. Nice grab to commence. Cat Heist follows with the Fuselage, but beautiful separation. Reversed into the golden beam. Sun Cheese is crazy on the Mercury. Somehow living, turning this fight around. Kronos going forward on the Carbine. Trades the Shiv out. All of a sudden, Hat, the fight reversed on them again after such a good-looking engage. Milk Honey snags the crown on the way out. Can he find a cheeky dunk to bring Hat back?
Oh, that's the big question here. We do see Sun as well, basically have a wide dominion over like the high part of the map. We do see the hook connection, but it is on an oath of all people. Breeves actually potentially getting caught out. They both fight the last second. Oh my god! But MTV are able to get clean poking continuously back as a full 3-man without issue. And there we go. So Sun are looking to get absolutely poked out of the last second by that orb. I'm not sure if it's going to explode in time though. It doesn't. So MTV looking to jump ship, try and get the high ground, try and get some armor repairs in if possible. There goes some mega RB poking from Dowser. Sun already lost half HP. There goes a nice little kidnap from the portal as well. Unfortunately, Sun Cheese getting in a really troubling predicament. Casimir already found dead shortly afterwards. Trapper tries to get the kill, but the ulti is also popped by Sun Cheese for an extra bit of healing. Plus the wings. Kronos is found dead, and it is just Sun Cheese now. Last alive for Sun.
Yeah, so Sun's still in it, but MTV with that squad wipe onto Hat, all but guaranteeing their victory for the whole tournament. And that what they really want to do here is finish it off with a dub. That would give them 3 back-to-back-to-back victories to close out the back half of this tournament. An insane performance to kind of turn things around off of what was looking like an insurmountable gap from JP2. Out of nowhere, MTV just turn on the afterburners, find themselves overtaking them in just 2 games, don't even need 3. And with that already 8-point lead and JP2 exiting earlier on in the lobby, MTV very much in a position to win. Abyssal Breaker out here, Samiri.
Yep, they're trying to focus around, trying to mirror them as long as possible. But of course, LPM do have the high ground. MTV kind of had to give it up as they tried to circle around, kind of stopping their tracks at the last second. Sun without armors as well. LPM looking really, really strong here. There's money, there's everything on the ground, man. There's so much goodies to be picked up here should anyone need like a crown or armor resets. But I think Sun just want to play for territory control at the moment as the train rapidly arrives. Hopefully, Sun recognizes. Sunchies! No way!
Tragedy strikes. Sunchi's just like playing so well on the Mercury. The final thing, the bottom of the mental stack, is the bullet train rolling through, is able to catch them there. So Sun on the back foot for a moment. Hopefully they can find a res angle. LPN building a little Fortnite fortress up at the top of this hill. Really nice kind of spot to hold. They got 2 fans on the backside with walls on this side, but they are going to have to make a move kind of towards Sun with this next shift, and it's MTV to the north looking extremely strong.
Yeah, but Kazuma was trying to do a little bit of bush play there, but was unfortunately still found out. I think LPN had tabs on them the whole time. Kronos is chilling kind of on the right-hand side. He's got the little pocket to kind of stay in for the moment as Euphoria makes a kind of dash down at the last second. The spike grenade, unfortunately, doesn't find any connection. We do see those chonkers continuously falling down across the whole map, tumbling down, maybe catching someone off guard at the last second. We are seeing a crashing at the last second from Kronos as well. MTV slowly walking down as well. They've tried to find that pocket of space, which they've successfully done, and looks like they may be looking to encroach upon Kronos. That's potentially a nice opportunity here to get a nice little portal kidnap potentially onto Kronos. He basically has no space left, but they have to be careful, of course, of LPN.
Yeah, and both these teams are like a little hesitant of this MTV third party coming in. We see Abyssal Breaker out though for the side of LPN. Benumero making a lot of space, forcing them into a corner here. Train is through. Abyssal Breaker from Breeze though now out on the side of LPN. Trepe over the top with that Moss Immunity. So much damage out onto the enemy health. He's gonna find Euphoria. So the enemy ghost is down. Can they single out Lamamu? Meanwhile, it's Sun engaging onto Panu, trying to finish that off, get the crown proc, but it is gonna be sniped away from MTV. MTV just looking so dominant in the back half of this tournament. They found the win in game 4. They found the win in game 5. Can they finish off LPN and Sun here to find the triple victory to win this tournament?
Yep, and they've already picked up 14 kills. Kronos with 25 seconds left, trying to get a last second heal in if possible, as Breeze trying to knock him away, but Kazuma's there with the defensive measures to try and ensure that the crown goes off. All you need is the crown bearer to get it off. Even if Kazuma is the sacrificial lamb, it's all for everything, basically. It's kind of not all for nothing. You're looking at as well, 10 seconds left now in the new circle, trying to go for the Whispers, but Lamama's there to try and cause a bit of grief, potentially against MTV, dashing around all over the place. He's decided to find his own little pocket of space. For 3 seconds left, hopefully they can get it off in this last second, but a nice little dash knock by Dowdza. They are back as a 3-man. Already 1 found dead. I don't think they've got much left in the tank here, is it? Uh-oh.
Dude, so MTV instantly collapse onto the crown res, so it's timed off, but in the end, MTV with that follow-up engage eliminates Sun in third. Lamamo actually doing a great job positioning LPN up 1 more rank. Gonna ult up in here. A beautiful, picture-perfect, cinematic finish to Game 6. The dash into the train to lock in the sure victory for MTV.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I've got tinnitus, but I don't think it's actually that. I think it's just magical, just whistling still in my ear. I can still hear the echoes of it just from that train kill right at the end, sealing off Game 6, and I'm pretty sure that's got to be MTV taking the crown for this one, man. Oh, man.
Dude, what an epic performance for MTV for the whole back half of this tournament. Just absolutely turning it on when it needed to be. Like closing an almost insurmountable gap in just 2 games and really solidifying it in for the third there. So I think we're going to have a really cool opportunity after we're able to look at the final scores once they're tabulated to do a couple player interviews with Courageous here. But Courageous, what are your thoughts, man, after, you know, finally getting to see the final kind of sequence to this whole tournament series come to a close?
Oh my god, that was such an exciting last game. After this big tournament and just the top 2 teams, MTV, JP2, they both had a huge chance to take the winning lead. I was looking at them the entire game. It was going back and forth. And then that ghost that just goes in, he knows MTV goes, he knows there's only one player alive in JP2. He doesn't care about his own life. He just goes in and takes that last player out, dies for it, but he knows it's worth it. Our biggest enemies have been killed. It's so crazy. I love that last game. What about you guys?
Yeah, dude, it's like, I mean, it's just such like this, like I've gotten to like watch these storylines kind of from the sideline, and I've been in the cast a couple times, but just the storyline of today, bro, was so exciting, so epic. Like even coming in kind of not knowing what's up, watching these teams kind of battle it out here, and how close it really was, like throughout the entire thing, actually so close for this first place spot, and two teams kind of trading such massive momentum the entire time, trying to ruin everyone's day with momentum of their own. Just like made for such freaking exciting SUPERVIVE, man. It's actually so good.
Dude, like the amount of tacticality that MTV managed to kind of consistently do without, even with the nerfs probably coming in as well, you know, they still managed to maintain their composure. I think that's one of the important kind of skills you need to have. You know, if you're having a down game and you start to come up, or you have an up game and you start to go down, you got to maintain that composure, even if you're angry or you're happy, whichever way it's going. You've got to, make sure that you're still able to kind of mechanically perform and actually think about the game in a kind of a neutral way without kind of bias, so you can make the kind of best decisions possible. And I feel like MTV, even after those first maybe couple of rough games, they found the source and they just were able to replicate it consistently then on afterwards.
Yep, 100%. So I think what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to get the final scores tabulated just to kind of make sure where all the kind of final placements lie. We will announce our winners with the prize pool. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually, I think, raid over to Courageous's Twitch channel. He's going to be able to host some player interviews over there. So if you want to hang out, hear from these players themselves, hear about not just the experience in this set of games today, but over the course of the entire 7-week tournament, definitely stick around for a bit longer. But we are going to have the scores tabulated very shortly as we watch through kind of the final sequence of these replays for match 6. This is actually such a crazy kind of final battle. Sun, one of these squads that was continuing to impress, kind of throughout the entire tournament, kind of playing middle of the pack, but a lot of really cool plays from Suncheese.
Yeah, I just love having the kind of, that's probably the least picked character, it feels like, Mercury, it feels like in at least in recent times, even though she's kind of one of the newest characters. You don't really see it that often. Of course, we had Magical's kind of a mini tournament that was pretty memorable, of course, when he's got those kind of rules where you kind of always mandatorily have to pick that character. I kind of love those. I'm hoping that when a new character releases, Mad Magical is ready to do another.
Yeah, the little the hunter featurettes.
Yeah. Dude.
Okay, so those are really cool. So Courageous is about to fire up the stream here, guys, to host those post-game interviews. We are going to have the scores tabulated. Huge shout out to all the goats behind the scenes. Shivam spending an extra day on production for us after SNS. We got Kaya on the sticks observing. We got Azuna, always such a goat, helping out with admin and score tabulation. So really, big shout out to everyone behind the scenes, kind of making these opportunities come to fruition, not just for the players, but for everyone watching, and able to put on just like such high quality, produced events. It's really, we've seen like a really cool kind of surge from the events in SUPERVIVE, like with this kind of like dialed production, like gives it like a kind of whole new level of feel watching. It's been really fun.
Yeah, dude, man, and obviously thanks to you as well, man, for helping me co-cast these games and being able to cast in the past for ViveEUCamp. It's been so nice to see all these coaches as well giving their own input respectively, their own kind of experience with the game, and kind of implanting it into these players, which obviously enhances their own respective gameplay. Of course you can do VOD reviews, numerous different things, but having that kind of one-to-one coaching always elevates players in an accelerated manner compared to kind of anything else, I feel like. Absolutely.
And like, yeah, just such an epic, thing for the community to have, like this kind of basically training grounds for players that are interested in comp to come in, close the learning gap like we mentioned. And Courageous doing such a massive job bringing all that together for everyone. Here we go, final look at the scoreboard. It's MTV absolutely solidifying the gap for first, closing it out, first place finish, 163 points. Huge congratulations to MTV claiming victory after just an insanely incredible performance in the second half of this tournament. JP2 finds the second place spot after a crazy start to the tournament themselves. The first half was JP2's, the second half was MTV's. In the end, MTV come out with a few more points, and then we have Hat followed up in third. Hat causing so much chaos over the course of all 6 games, not quite finding those finishes, but matching the kills very much of MTV and JP2. Ton of tempo on their side. All 3 of these teams at the top. So freaking fun to watch. As we take a look at the rest of the scoreboard, it's Apex just eking out Fish. 3 points, Samiri, to claim that final podium spot.
Oh my god, man. And you know, just thinking before this, when we saw the game 5 scoreboard, I think JP2 is like 116 points, so they didn't even have that bad of a game, but MTV just had such a mega game. It just didn't matter, right? Like, you can have a normal game's points worth of score. It's not going to be enough when MTV have just snowballed this hard continuously, dude. Oh my god.
Dude, actually just such an epic finish to this whole, series over the last 7 weeks. Okay, so we have the scores. We kind of have a good idea of how everyone finished. I want to give a huge shout out to all the teams that participated, not just the teams that were here today, but the teams that participated over the entire 7-week event, even the ones that did not qualify. Thank you guys so much for your enthusiasm, your commitment to SUPERVIVE, and the commitment to yourselves to just improve and get better. Been such a pleasure for all of us to watch the growth of you guys over the last 7 weeks. A huge shout out to you guys. Huge shout out to all the viewers watching, the rest of the community showing up to support these new players. And then again, everyone behind the scenes, the whole production crew, Samiri on the cast with me, as well as the final shout out to the man himself, Courageous, for doing so much to put this whole thing together. So what we are going to do now, closing things out, is we're going to fire up this raid headed over to Courageous himself. And over there, he is going to be hosting interviews with some of the players closing out this entire event. So as soon as Shivam is ready, which I think he is, we are going to fire this baby up.
Great stuff.
Ba-boom. Nope, I messed it up. Give me another chance. Okay, we're gonna just send it to an end screen, guys. Everyone hang out for just a couple minutes as we raid over to Courageous's channel. There, you're gonna be able to catch interviews. So any final words, Samiri, as we close things out here?
Whoa, I think it's 6 days away, if I'm not mistaken, till we've got another Turbo Cup, right?
Oh, true, bro.
Yeah,
So true.
it's the Turbo Cup next week, guys. Next Saturday. Make sure you guys are there. This is the big cash prize pool, man. This is the big one. Oh, man, I can't wait for that one. Dude.
$5,000 on the line. It's $2,500 per region. The best teams in both European region and North America battling it out for that fat cash prize. And then after that, Samiri, some potentially exciting things heading into December, where we are looking at some experimental squads tournaments, potentially leading up to a final Turbo Cup in November that will be squads format if all that's working out. So an insanely amount of exciting SUPERVIVE to look forward to, even after the excitement of today. So with that, again, just want to give a huge shout out to everyone. Thank you so much for watching. GG's. We love you guys. W SUPERVIVE.
Peace.